Welcome back in. 2 o'clock, just having a look at Apple and Disney. I'm just hearing in my ear some rumors floating around once again about Apple and Disney. I didn't see anything actually happening with, not much on Apple here, but there was a huge volume spike you can see on Disney downside there. So some talks possibly between the two on some deal making. So we'll keep that in mind as we get going here into the final couple hours of the afternoon. This also happened as well while we were gone. If you missed it, anyways, Google spokesperson coming out saying they see no change to their engagement with Broadcom. So if you remember this morning, Broadcom was out and MRVL was in. Not the case, according to Google. Here's how the S&P 500 is looking at this point. Amazon leading the way as far as decliners, 3.3%. Very red board still across the entire thing here. Notable strength coming from the biggest of the big. Apple almost back to positive territory. Microsoft already there. Yeah, they're, what's it called? AI Caddy going to be on the 26th, September 26th, or Assistant, or whatever it's called. I'll check again. Meta 0.05 to the upside here to round things out as far as positivity. But basically everything else is you can. Clippy, thank you, Ramin. Clippy. That little dude that was on Office, what was it, Microsoft or Windows 2003 or 2005? Yeah, the little paperclip guy with the big smiley face. A lot of people were saying that it was going to be that, but we'll see. September 26th for Microsoft. This kind of tells the story as far as the overall day is concerned. Yields sharply higher once again. So both 2 and the 10-year took out 16-year highs this morning and really have not pulled back. They're off the highs a little bit, but both still grinding to the upside as we get more hawkish comments, not only from the Fed yesterday, but Bank of England comes out this morning and is talking very hawkishly as well. Some of the other central banks over in Europe, same story, echoing that sentiment. And then the Bank of Japan we'll actually hear from tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, market has recovered somewhat. We're still kind of grinding around the middle of the range overall as far as the SPY is concerned. But let's get into a few things here. We were a little bit concerned, to say the least, about big tech this morning. If you were with us in the pre-market after what happened yesterday and after we get this move in yields, again, 2 and 10-year, both above 16-year highs, guys. But as I was showing there, Microsoft positive, Apple trying to get positive. I'm going to look into this Apple Disney thing, but give me your thoughts here as we head into the rest of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm going to start with Meta 300, but I have a quick question, maybe if you guys. Like, are we calling it Clippy because that's the actual name of that paperclip, or is it just, or are we just saying Clippy because paperclip, Clippy is an interesting name? I didn't realize that this thing had a name, to be honest with you. That's going way back when. But first things first, Meta 300, anyone paying attention has known, well, I mean, for the last, okay, not all day long, but for the last hour or so, Meta's been battling with the 300 level. Just as we started rolling over on the NASDAQ, let's go there. This is the 15,000 level. This is us failing the 15,000 level. This is Meta off of a high, so resistance on the futures, resistance on Meta. Watched it wick, watched us under 15, got it at 80. It's starting to work downside. I'm thinking 298 because it's trend up. So it's still, well, okay, trend up in the afternoon. So that's the level I like. For the rest of big tech, it's interesting, like, we can talk chips. If you look at what's going on, like Meta actually got green for a brief second there because 299.67 was the closing price. But then you look at what's going on the other end of the spectrum, like Nvidia's still down 2%, underneath VWAP. Got to look back at that 420. 420 on Nvidia is a pretty darn good level. Just throw that one out there. If it gets to 420, maybe we should be shorting that every single time. But the underneath VWAP here, NVIDIA, so yes, Meta 300, it's a level, but if you stuck with the short on at least this name in terms of the chips, then it's been weak the entire way through. So, you know, want to acknowledge you do have a bit of a divergence today, like some names stronger or weaker than others. And yeah, as much as Meta's turning around now, you have not had to fight a short on Nvidia at all. There's been a few names like that, I want to say. But, you know, Meta is trending to the upside. I had short this morning here, that worked. I had short this morning here, that worked. I got in and out flat off the high of the day, then waited for 300. So I've been picking my spots. But, like, it's weird because you can have 3 winning trades short but it's obviously a better long as I chuckle about it. Like if you bought every single one of these dips, you've been absolutely laughing on Meta on what has been a red day.
Yeah, welcome everybody back. I just, you might have just saw me in and out there really quickly on Disney. I took that rumor there. I thought it's worked for us in the past. We took the Coke trade, which is now 50 cents, by the way, in the money. We still have 10%, small piece of that one, as you can still see, short Coke 58, but we took it and just got dumped out. And then just before we came on, we took this, we were short all day. Are we gonna talk about Tesla? No, okay, but we'll just do this quickly. Big tech, we were short all day Tesla. It's the #1 stock for me. And then boom, it broke that 260 level, 259, sorry, and we went long. We talked about all that on the midday show with Sharif and Obi. And then it came back in right now, and I did not trust the 200 period moving average. So we got out when that came back in. We took about 50 cents worth of risk there. No, sorry, we were long at 75s, out at 50, so 25 cents. But it did hold VWAP down there at 258. So lots of stock to talk about, lots of things to do, man. It's a good day one more time, but big tech breaks. Other than that, we traded Intel today. Short until it was wrong. We're still up on Intel. That was a big trade early. Apple was a very good trade short, 276. I kept saying Merry Christmas that they gave it to us. In our last, I think it was only 5% came back out there. That would have been another good short, but now you're under VWAP, you're under the 50 period moving average. I'm starting to like a lot of these shorts right now. And then the other name, again, we don't have any, well, we are negative on Disney. We have no negative names, I was going to say, but we just took that Disney for the loss. And then right here, too, wondering about AMD if we get back up to 98. But we're still so far away, and we're starting to push here a little bit to the downside. So I feel like as far as big cap tech is concerned, I don't know if we're going to be into anything immediately. I'd rather see it sort of make some moves here, because no matter what you look at here on the NASDAQ, I mean, we're still, that's VWAP. I just talked about it. There's the low of the day, there's the high of the day, and we are stuck almost, like, literally.
There's a song about it.
In the middle.
Stuck in the middle
with you. Yes, exactly. So there it goes. The Blues Brothers.
Good song.
Me and You. No, I don't. That's not the Blues Brothers song.
No, it's not really, but it is.
We'll have come up with a better name.
It's a good song.
You know, it could be a Halloween costume, but we're not gonna.
No, we got something.
We're not gonna divulge.
We got something better than that.
We're gonna divulge. All right, back over to the desk. I wonder what Brendan and Sharif are gonna be dressed up as Halloween this year.
For Halloween? Isn't that like a month still? Here's Business Insider. That's helpful. Thanks, Business Insider, for your paywall. This was the, hold on, I'll grab this window. I can show it on this one. There we go. Here's Bob Iger and Tim Cook talking about ESPN, apparently. That was the Disney story that came out there right at 2 o'clock. So there was this huge volume spike, as Sean was just mentioning, downside. So yeah, apparently there's still rumblings that Apple could do something with Disney regarding ESPN. As I was mentioning when we came on, Google comes out and says they don't expect any change whatsoever to their relationship with Broadcom. I was actually surprised. I mean, this Marvell gave it all back anyway, right out of the gate this morning. So there was a little bit of a spike downside there, but to be expected. Again, here we are now negative on the day for Marvell.
Yeah, Jim Cramer coming on CNBC and saying that that report was patently false, and then Google responding afterwards and saying we are productively engaged with Broadcom and multiple other suppliers for the long term. So not really closing the door on Marvell, but saying that they're not cutting the deal with Broadcom.
Yeah, we'll see who, I was going to look up who it was that actually said that the first time this morning. But yeah, not much to do as far as AVGO and MRVL today.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that that news is bunk, like any notion that I was looking for on Marvell had to do with there being some, at least kernel of truth there, and there wasn't, so no dip buy. What's weird about it is, so it's not true, and I was saying if it was true, look at a 52 support level. If the market gets down there, you buy Marvell. So, okay, fine. Like, it actually bounced off 52, and that would have worked. But the litmus, like, the reason for wanting the bounce on a weak market at that support level was because of the good catalyst. So I didn't take the trade, but whatever. You know, it would have worked out, but it doesn't matter, like, whether it would have worked or not. Like, I wanted to be doing it because the news was good. I think AVGO, sometimes you get a bit of a gift. I know Sharif was in this in the pre-market, and I know that's a good long off of I don't know if it was a pre-market he had it, but either way, maybe it was here. Sharif, I don't know the timing of when you were in that trade, but I mean, if it was anywhere off, if it was off of VWAP, I always feel like stick-to-itiveness is a thing you want as a trader, and it's not I do it all the time. Like, I'll get out of a trade that I like at a level, and then it sets right back up, and you really, a lot of times, it's like grit your teeth. It sets up, just take it again. And I think that's a little something that happened on AVGO here. Strong move back to the upside. This is why you always want to keep your ear to the ground when a stock is in play, because if your reason for fading this or looking for strength in Marvell, if it happens, you'll want to get away from it the second you have not confirmation. In this particular case, it happened to be the other way. I don't see a trade with Marvell. I'm probably not going to touch it. I'm definitely not going to trade AVGO. $800 stock we don't normally trade. There was a pushback up to 300 on Meta. It gave a 99.90 fill, 92 actually, and then came right back into support. It's about 50, 60 cents. It's going back and forth. Call it 70, take 50, 60. So we're still kind of hanging out in the top end of the range, scalping off the 300 level for Meta. We're getting this back and forth. I am an ARM, but we're actually going to talk about the IPO, so I'll get to that in a bit. Woman in some CCL, which I'll mention a little bit later as well.
Yeah, we slipped in there. What's up to Anthony Kerr on the chat there? We're just having some fun there. I slipped into some AMD on the short side, just against 97. Breaks 97. We gone on that one. Yeah, it's 97 already. Actually, its low of the day is 96.37. It's not. This is not a crazy play by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm surprised. You said you didn't see a trade for Marvell. You must have seen.
No, I was a double bottom, but like I wanted that trade.
I like that break.
I wanted that bounce when I was like, the news is legit.
Yeah,
but now that it isn't, oh, you mean like the flop bottom break?
Yeah.
Oh, the short. Yeah.
Short.
No, I meant aborted the long idea because it was bunk news. But yeah, the flat bottom break is available.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to. I wasn't sure. I'm mistaken that. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. I still feel like if you get a move up to VWAP here as $53, you short in front of an even dollar level every time, especially when it looks like this. You know, if we can get a move back up and you have some protection up here, I feel like you short. You got VWAP right there. I really like Marvell. Even the 200 period is aggressively sloping to the downside. And then you have the note that we just talked about where you're looking at the daily break here of $52. So you break down through $52. There's that gap. I mean, I cannot believe this was all the way back in May. Like, it feels like it was yesterday. And you weren't here, I remember. That's why.
That was Paris, right?
It was, maybe, yeah, because it was me and Max. So I don't know if you don't remember when you were in Paris, man? Wow, Neil.
I'm getting old, man.
Wow.
No, because I went camping like a couple weeks after, so like it was within the same month.
Paris.
I love them. I love them the same for different reasons, because like my daughter didn't come to Paris.
Yeah, of course.
Just my wife and I, romantic, all that good stuff, and then camping with my kid is like, that's just, I love them both, but it's different.
I got it. Okay, so.
I'm old, that's why I forget.
Yes, that's more the answer. Okay, so 52 bottom break there, I think is something that you're looking for right there. Yeah, we brought my kids to Rome. Actually, they really liked Rome. All right, so just quickly here, there's the slip in on AMD. I mean, we are not going to talk about tech, but chips, but this is a good spot. Why not? Big tech, obviously AMD's fits that bill as well. Here we go. Let's go, man. Look, man, we'll take, I didn't realize it would go down this fast there. Boom, right there. There's a nice little take for us at 66. So we'll take a dime plus change and then hopefully get this back down into the downside. We've had such a great day today that I'm happy sort of just going through the motions right now. If we're able to get some out, drip it down, all that jazz, that'd be great. Next take is going to be at 50, and then we look for the bottom. It's too bad, Anthony Kerr and everybody else that's on the chat there, because I was waiting for a better take for Get More Shares. And I actually canceled my offer at 80 because that was not a very good average in. You don't average in, when you're short 77, you don't average in at 80 on AMD, so I was actually put my order to 90, and we got missed there. So if it comes back up, we'll see about getting more short. Actually, it's at 94, my offer, 96.94. So we miss it by a lot. The only most it goes up there was 86s or so. But anyways,
it's because no one wears 94.
Here comes a move down. Yeah, who is a 90?
Nobody.
Why can't we either one of us think of an athlete that
nobody
wears 94?
Nobody wears 94. That's why you don't bitter ask 94s, because no one wears that number.
There has to be.
I'm sure like.
No, but why can't we just think of, like, we should be able to think of every single number?
Not 94.
All right, yeah, maybe there's no 94s.
All right, wasn't much to do on Amazon today. What a day, though. 3.5% downside. We're coming into day lows, as we saw on the board when we came on there. Standing out, jumping off the board, in fact, as one of the brightest on the downside today. Ugly day lows, as I mentioned. There was a couple of notes, the FTC filing a lawsuit regarding this merchant fee. And this was kind of cool as well. They're coming out with a very heavily supported generative AI version of Alexa in smart speaker. So I know my mother loves her Alexa. Now she's going to get an AI version of it.
I think that's a good look. Yeah, October 1st was supposed to be the day that they start charging the seller fulfilled prime fee, which was supposed to be 2% for those sellers that don't use the delivery service. They're backing off that now. It was looked at as kind of combative when they did announce it because they already knew that the FTC was going to come after them for an antitrust lawsuit. So we'll have to see Wedbush today coming out and reiterating their price target to 165.
Yeah, pretty ugly as far as the, what is it now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row here on the red side, guys. So not a great week, to say the least, here for Amazon.
It's not, and the answer was Charles Haley. So
or DeMarcus Ware.
Or DeMarcus Ware. Those are two. I'm surprised if Shreve was listening. He probably should have got that. But real pass rushers were the number 78, so that's all I care about. 130 on Amazon incoming. Hello. The market's getting to the downside. Amazon is dripping, down 3.5%. Where is the support? 126. I don't know if we see that today, but it is getting nasty. Like it's weird. I kind of felt as if, okay, we thought it was going to be a red day, but it's interesting to see just a couple of names that have been managing to get back to the upside, and the short's working now on them. Like I'm looking at you, Meta, but there has been no relief in sight for Amazon. I was about to tell you 10 minutes ago if we'd done this, hey, let's look VWAP shorts, 131s on Amazon into that 130 level. I don't know if we get that. Let's just play the stair-step game. If we're underneath 15,000, I think you just want to short any resistance level that sets up. I know that's, well, on the stock you're looking at. So if you're underneath 15,000, short 131 on Amazon. If it's breaking out of that level and we're underneath 15,000, then you're looking at this kind of like 131.75, 132 level. But short it's a short till it's not. If we break 130 today, maybe we're just looking at a breakdown for Amazon. And it's only Thursday. Like, what could tomorrow bring for us if we take out the 130 level on Amazon? A lot of things could happen here. Sometimes it's a matter of the stock has been relatively strong. Let's go the other way. And it had not had a deep pullback. So this is when now we're getting that pullback. Remember, in upward trends in strong markets, 15, 20% pullbacks are not ridiculous. And for Amazon, you could be talking about like 120. That's not ridiculous. If you like the stock, fire it up, man. Stink bid it. 120 looks pretty good here. The 50, I mean, the 200 period would look even better. We're not getting that 112 anytime soon. But hey, if you like Amazon and it breaks 130, I think 120, 125 looks pretty good. Valuation-wise, it looks pretty decent, kind of like Google does. So yeah, this could be an opportunity. For today, I think we're looking short, but you know, the stink bids are coming in here, I think, on Amazon, just like Randy creeping up behind us.
If they think, talk about stink bids over here.
I know.
How's it going, man?
No, the mic.
We have a mic now, Randy.
Are we ready?
We have a mic.
Are we? Fabian's running over there to see if we're ready. I feel like we're just interviewing like, hello, we found this great gentleman on the street here. What's your name?
Leroy.
Leroy Jenkins, how are you?
Okay.
Is this thing even on? I mean, can anybody even hear us? But anyways, Randy, it's
Is it
not.
working? Is it working?
No mic?
Guys, can you hear Randy in the microphone?
I don't know. Anyways.
No? Maybe?
Okay, anyways, this is,
Difficult.
yeah, how's your day going?
Not bad. Just came back to see what Tesla's doing.
Oh, do you have any Amazon products?
Yes.
Because I know that. Okay, here, you, Randy, you hold it.
Can you give
I feel like I was
non one-word answers?
But is it actually working?
There you go.
Super.
Oh, because I was talking into my own mic and that mic.
Oh, we're getting
So it sounded
feedback
like
here.
I was like blasting.
Yes, I own lots of Amazon products.
Because I know that you're big into the Apple Home Pod.
Yep.
Don't you have those?
I got 4 of them.
So then no, four Apple. What about
Surround sound. Like, come on.
Okay, fair.
Oh yeah, surround sound. What about Alexa? Any Alexa products?
Nope.
Okay, so what do you have then? That's the Fire Stick for the TV, or
I had a Fire Stick, and
know you-
I had a Roku. Don't use it much anymore.
You had a Roku.
You had a Roku.
What?
It's old though.
So then what
I
Amazon
have
products?
two
do you
Fire
have?
Sticks for some reason, and I don't need either one of them.
I don't use
I have
it.
two Fire Sticks as well.
Yeah, it just doesn't get used that often.
What Amazon products do you have then? I just said 4 of them. I don't think.
No, the HomePods I had 4. Yeah, just the Fire Sticks basically.
Just the Fire Sticks.
We don't do Alexa. It's just.
No Amazon apparently.
All right.
Yeah, apparently Amazon's not that popular. Forget about the stink bids.
Some people may have
Throw
it.
it away
I don't
now.
know. It's just not my thing.
Oh, you getting the iPhone 15 or
No,
not a super cycle for you?
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I just got my 14 Pro Max last
Oh,
year.
you have the
so
14 Pro Max.
Yeah,
Okay,
your
okay,
phone's
It's
still
a 3 or 4 year cycle.
Isn't
I'm
that
not.
a bit of a thing? Like everyone, I feel as if everything is so the quality is so high right now.
Yeah.
That you're just not going to be replacing. The
We
same
talked
level.
about this. The best cameras and the processors and all the memory and storage you can think of. It's like, do I need more?
I have a friend who lines up every single time for Apple, and he's like, when the Apple event's going on, he's like, he messaged me, how's the stock doing? This is what I think is cool. He's obsessed with them. This is the
Yikes.
first time he's not buying the new phone,
Wow.
and he always does.
Anyway,
People want to know what you take in your coffee.
just cream.
All right.
No sweetener?
Nope.
I actually didn't see anybody put that in the chat. I was just trying to create some content there.
Works.
So, any vacation plans?
Tomorrow's off.
Too?
Yeah.
You going up north or? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about this.
Do
Where
a
up
little
north?
Perry Sound.
Okay.
Do a little fishing.
I'm going to the Schwa.
The Schwa.
Yeah.
That's right. Hockey.
Yeah,
Oshawa.
he's got
I'm
hockey.
going to see. He used to have that GM plant there.
That's right.
Now I don't know what they're doing there.
No idea.
Yeah. Okay, get out of here.
Back to it. See you.
All right, thanks.
Turn that mic off, too.
All right, that was our interview of the afternoon.
There you go.
Very planned.
We don't have Frank, but
Not
we have,
off the cuff at all.
Actually, it's interesting because when we say we don't have Frank, Randy should stop by in the afternoons. But apparently he has no Amazon products, so we should forget our stink bids in Amazon. No, we're still going to buy Amazon.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's off tomorrow. I'm off. Sharif's off. You're off.
I mean,
Brendan's
everybody.
off. What? 2 of the 5 of us
I'm
are off.
here.
Yeah, you're here.
Obi's here.
But
We
no,
got you.
No Randy.
We got you. No Randy's a little bit weird. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, Randy's pretty much, I mean, he's here, but, you know.
You don't realize, like, Randy leaves this interview, he's going right now, probably right to his car to leave. He's done for the day. We're not going to see him again.
Yeah,
He
you
finishes
are.
that
I might
coffee
ask
and
him.
he's
I might ask him for a coffee, but I've asked him for a coffee before, and he's like, "I'm gone."
I'm drinking an afternoon coffee, actually.
All right, I'm gonna ask Randy. You guys want to see Randy again? Let me see if I.
You literally have a coffee.
Yeah,
right
I know,
there.
but this is like really cold and really done.
Market's still going down, so the short.
Yeah. So AMD's still moving around. What are we talking about here? Amazon?
I think we already talked.
All right, I think we've already done that. All right, let's go over there because Sharif's getting mad.
We're just hanging out. Take your time. We got all afternoon. It's fine. I was just noting that Klaviyo from yesterday and Cart, Instacart, obviously, both positive.
Yeah, and
So there's that.
it's good. They're going to need it because, like the data point I mentioned this morning, recent history suggests that newly listed stocks, which drop below their IPO price within the first week, generally have further fall. And in Dow Jones market data did a look on this, Brendo, and they dropped by 20% in the following 12 months. So they better hold on to their gains.
Meanwhile, NASDAQ heading to day lows, S&P almost day lows, 1.14, 1.3 for both. So on a day when the market's ugly, guys, some IPO strength, Derek?
Well, I mean, it's okay, fine. Like, it really depends on how you want to look at this, but like these were all testing the IPO bottoms yesterday. So CART was at 30 at the close. So the fact that it closes at 30 is going to make the day look a little better than it is, but it's right back on the 30 level. That's why it's flat. So I did say this morning that I did not want to have happen on CART what happened yesterday, which is I like the short, and then it rinses the top, and then I miss a chance to get back in. Stick-to-itiveness you need as a trader. And yesterday, that's what happened. I'm going to have a stop, and I'm going to adhere to it early, but if it sets back up, I'm just going to jump back into the trade. So I was looking to short the pop in Instacart off of the $30 bounce. It bounced off 30. That was the IPO issue price. I got stopped out. It came back underneath. I'm not in it anymore because once it defended 30 the second time, I was looking for it to break down. Yeah, it's going to break, and I'm going to add on that break. It didn't get through 29.90, which was, I think I said that on the midday, right? I was like, I want it to break 29.90 because when it broke 30, it couldn't get that 10 cents further. And then I ended up trailing out of the short. I tried it off VWAP and got out. At this point, I think it might just be about the 30 break and getting underneath that IPO issue price. 29.90 for a breakdown looks like it's going to make some sense to me. As far as, what is it, Clavio? That's KVYO. I didn't trade it today, and I feel as if you did the same thing. If you just waited to short the pops, that was really, really good off 35. Like, here's your 35 level yesterday, and it absolutely plunged. Like, look at the consolidation in the afternoon, and after 240, that's where it plunged. That was the short we had. Took out way too early. Took it out in here of 35, and it gave you the same trade. So obviously, I'm going to like 35 if we can get it. I don't know if we do. And then last one, but probably certainly not least, ARM made that breakdown at the 30 level. I was long in front, stopped out underneath. I missed the reversal here. I shorted it when it came back in, was able to get the majority out in front of 50, so 51 to 50, and then stopped out above VWAP, shorted it again underneath 51. And this time, I got most of it out actually, no, I got all of it out when it bounced off 50 again, and then I shorted this for a tight stop right in here off of 50.80. And I waited for it. I'm like, I'm not going to average into this move. I'm just going to get out and then short the next pop. That pop was right here into 51.70, and I'm sitting in the short. So obviously, I like the short on these names, but I'm willing to get out and then work my way back into it. I'm sitting in ARM right now. I'm looking for a breakdown in Instacart, and maybe we see 35 in Clavio. Maybe, I don't know. If we see that price, I kind of like that, but pretty much nothing else on that one.
Yeah, I thought that today, we talked about this earlier today, and it was just like, until we get, some settling down, and we've sort of done that already. The only thing we're in right now is AMD, which is doing pretty well for us, and Coke, that we would, at that point start to look at some IPOs. And the thing is that the one that's sticking out to me is Instacart, only because it's banging its head on that $30 level, and it's done that a couple times here today, so didn't break. Well, I guess we got some wicks down there to 29.90, but I guess officially not really breaking right there. So I still like Instacart, but breaking through that $30 level is something to look out for here as well, because yesterday's close, we were hovering around 30 bucks as well. So I don't think there's a trade there immediately on a 30 break, because we've done that a couple times and battled back every time. But if we can get underneath 30, I think that we would use that then as some resistance. So if we can get underneath, like let's just say Instacart trades at like 29.75, things like that, and we're seeing that it's holding underneath. It's not just swiping down. Like right here, you break 30, you swipe down. Sure, it goes to 60s, but then it gets right back up. That's a losing trade for me, because if I get anything out, it's like 10 or 20%, then I hold the rest and probably get stopped out again. And the same thing right here too, like when it breaks earlier on in the day, it only wicks down to 90. That's a losing trade all day. So we're gonna have to wait for it to trade underneath. But yeah, Instacart would be the one for me. I know Neil had that arm break that we had that short issue there earlier. So I would just wait for this Instacart to trade underneath 30, then that's the play for me. And then if it settles down, I mean, maybe Instacart could be a long. At some point. I know they're big into AI and they're a big data collection, so I still feel like there's more information that we need to know about Instacart and where it's going to trade. So maybe you hold out for that first earnings report.
And they're profitable too. So
right.
Like if they're profitable like multiple quarters, it gets a little bit more interesting. I tend to always want to see it. If I'm investing in a new IPO and it's always bad, generally speaking, to buy on the IPO issue or in that first week, and you're going to wait anyways, then why not just wait a quarter? To me, I waited a quarter on Mobileye, and I think it made a heck of a lot of sense. So I think patience makes sense. That's what the reason. Everything Sean was saying. There's a reason why I want the 29.90 break and not just a 30 break on Instacart. Like, it was easier to be short into that 30 level than it is to try to take that breakdown. Remember, they're defending that price. Right? Like it's embarrassing if after a couple of days, people that took the issue are underwater. So there's going to be a bid from institutions at that price. Just one housekeeping here. I am out of Meta, anticipating that this trend was going to hold. And this is kind of like I just loosely drew this trend line. It's not perfect, but it's actually not that bad. Meta gets down to what was support, which was also that trend. So the 300 short, I'm out. I'm just going to take it, 298 quarters. If it holds the trend line, maybe it gets back up to the highs. The market was also, the NASDAQ was also bouncing off this level. This is the NASDAQ getting to a support as well. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to take that and run over here on Meta. Still a strong name. But one last one to get to.
Just seeing Roblox rolling over here as well. There was a volume spike, guys. They laying off 30 from their talent acquisition team. So some job cuts for Roblox, down about 3.5%. Yeah, I mean, NIO wasn't terribly exciting today. We were talking about this phone. If you're with us pre-market this morning, $900. It's actually pretty good. Like the specs in it are decent, but not much to do here for NIO today.
Yeah, I kind of give this one an unfair shake this morning. So here's a good side of it. Bank of America analyst Min Sun Lee said it's worth noting that the NIO phone owns the world's first car control button. The feature enables over 30 commands, and users can remote, near field, and in control in their NIO models. Lee said the NIO phone also enables seamless connectivity with the car's control interface when placed on the center console through NIO Link. So you can actually use it like you would a touchscreen. And like you said, Brendo, here, very good specs when it comes to the actual phone itself. Others, they're saying, you got to get profitable first, but I already covered that this morning.
Yeah, I wonder if they can actually make phones, seeing as how, and deliver phones if they can't do so with cars. It's TechCrunch with this note on Roblox right now.
The market is falling down, but I think that's similar to what I said this morning, is that why not just stay in your lane? I mean, why not just make cars? Ooh, thank you, Randy. I told you this guy would be back. Thank you so much, Randy. Safe travels on your way home and up north next week, or tomorrow. I will. I'll watch out. I'll watch out. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
All right, cheers.
Right,
Although
cheers,
it seems
cheers.
that you're
almost
done there.
I am almost done. Just one quick note on Roblox before we go into NIO. Roblox is at a big 25 level on the daily, but that is not the local bottom. I zoomed out a little bit further to find the 20 level. I had forgotten that it got down to $20. So if 25 goes, look for 20 level to be support on Roblox. A couple of things just now, because the market just moved. So we show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm like, yeah, look at that trend line we're going to get out on in front of on Meta. Obviously, the market's still going to the downside. So
what trend line?
It's still, That's weird. Like, where did it? Oh, I didn't hit save. So the trend line, the pretty trend line that I drew, I thought it wasn't bad. It's gone because I didn't actually save my layout after that. I'm in CCL off the high of the day. I said I would short the pop if we got back into this level. Like, that was almost going green. It resisted the close area, and I'm in that short to VWAP. Let's see how far it can go there. So that an arm after getting out of Meta. And that's the look there. There was another company in, was it Polestar? Somebody else did this too, just recently. Like, we're making a phone, we're partnering with their existing maker, so they don't actually have to worry about the production. I don't wonder if NIO doesn't just say, hey, look, these people produce a good phone, we're partnering with them. I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And then it just makes it easier for them to do it. I don't think it necessarily moves the needle. Like, they just need to raise $1 billion. So why are you?
I don't.
You just needed to raise $1 billion. Why are you worried about a phone? Worry about actually expanding into Europe. And
funny thing is, we just talked about they had that NIO house.
Yeah,
remember they have the
bribing
phone
European
now.
officials not to be protectionist is what they should be doing. Okay, obviously they shouldn't be bribing, but you know what I'm getting at.
They should, yeah, they should invest in something else. Home delivery. Get into the Amazon space. I mean, why not?
Speed up the battery swap. Focus on what you do well. Like,
that is a strange one. But NIO just continues to make moves lower, right? I mean, ever since we broke that $10 spot, it's been low, and this is what we're waiting for. You know what we haven't looked at in a minute? I'm going to do that right now. Let me check out Li Auto, because we forgot to put that one on watch.
It didn't break.
Ooh, but she's right here, right now. This is not bad. We did break in the pre-market.
Actually, no, at the open.
No. Oh, yeah, that is at the open. That is immediately at the open. Good thing we didn't take that trade, because that would have been disastrous.
Oh, thank God.
Because that just came right back. Well, whatever. I don't think I would have lost that much money, but still would not have been a great trade there, because Little bit of slip. Well, no, you probably would have got 38s, but it only goes down 20 cents, so that's not a profit spot for me, not on this trade probably. Maybe out of 10 or 20%. But yeah, there's Li Auto right here on the daily. This is really what we are talking about right here. So, I mean, there's the slip down. And I was just thinking that if it looks anything like end of the IO, oh yeah, NEO is not. NEO is a New York name. Uh-oh, what is O? That's no, isn't that Oatly? NIO. We have to check that out on the New York. Oh. Did you know that if you put that, I just put it, it doesn't auto fill on the chart. That's interesting. But okay, so there's the break, at least it didn't for me right there. There's the break right there of 10 on NEO. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here on,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, on Li Auto. So, all right, that's that. I think we're done right for now.
I got
go ahead. Yep.
I got a note on Li Auto. Like when I was, you might have heard me say under my breath, oh, I would have lost 30 cents. Like I'm not making that up. If I didn't realize that, and this is the first day, I think, since we got down here that I didn't put my breakdown on Li Auto for the flat bottom 38 break. And we had gapped down, and there was a lot to look at the open, but I know I would have lost 30 cents. Or maybe even like a little bit more than that. And that's just because when you break that 38, I'm getting short at best 37.99, let's call it 37.95. So if it's this break here, which I doubt I take it at 9:30, so I'm really looking at when it breaks down here, I'm not getting out. I'm not even scalping it out here at 38 because I'm taking that break and I'm giving it to the local high. That's actually 32. So I'm probably losing 40 cents actually. Like I'm getting 95 short or maybe like 96 or 97 and then I'm getting out above that there. So, you know, that would have been a losing trade. All that said, I think it can still be good. Sometimes when you get that bounce, it's like, okay, it didn't work. The next time through, it's really going to go. So I'm going to put that back for tomorrow. I still like a flat bottom break, and sometimes you take multiple swings at something because you're looking to get that home run. And I still believe that a flat bottom break like this can yield a home run style trade. Maybe you're just willing to lose 30 cents a couple of times because when this goes, it could go to 35. I'm not talking about, like, it might not just be 37. This could be an eventual breakdown that you hold all day long, and it can get to the 35 level. Here's like 35.75. I'm more thinking about like this level here. We had resistance and then support at 35 even. So Li Auto's very much on watch for us. Let's go back to the desk and take care of some business.
A rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on the desk by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment. Check out the QR code, bottom right corner of the screen, guys. Take advantage of this if you haven't. Great deal, 20% off. TraderTv20. Shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas.
Great there. Yeah, make sure you guys check out Trade Ideas as much as you can. I mean, we are affiliated with them, so you know we've always talked about that. We've had Michael Noss on the show numerous times, and you know, another great guest. And check it out because we use it for the scanners. I mean, like I have a scanner right here that's talking about VWAP crosses and things like that, and then all of the charting, and then just different. You can customize it however you want, and then you also have yeah. Then Michael will help you out. You can find him. I started taking a sip out of my old coffee. And I was like, that's disgusting. It's freezing.
So I want to answer this question from 757 Sports Hobby.
Yeah.
Have y'all looked at Palantir recently? Look, if you're gonna throw some Southern drawl, then you're gonna get your question answered. Well, you don't have to actually.
Is that how it works, or?
I don't even know if it does, but it did just now. I saw the y'all, and I'm like. No one says y'all in the chat. That's the first time I've seen that. And maybe you do, and I just never noticed. But it's a weird one because I saw the move that happened today. I'm like, well, Palantir is going to be in play after the volatility at the open, and now you can kind of see what's going on with it. And when I say volatility, like, look what it did off the 14 level. Like, flush, wipe out bottom, higher lows. I usually am thinking, let's go. We're running to the upside here. But it's not really going. But it's a nice little VWAP hold. Usually I would think that you're breaking out after a liquidity grab like this, but the market's been entirely too weak. It's a reminder if you're looking at, oh, why would it have bounced like this at $13.68? Checks notes, look at the level on the daily. This is about $13.60, and it's now a triple bottom on Palantir at $13.60. Or maybe
it went down that low today?
68. I mean, it's close. Like this bottom here is like, I want to say it's like 57 or 58, and then this one was like 60 or 61. So let's call it 1350's got to go, and then this is in trouble, a lot of trouble. But that's another flat bottom break.
Right off.
But it's support till it's not. And once again, Palantir is bouncing off of that level. I bet you the fourth time it'll get down there, we'll take it, and it'll suck. But yeah, this is definitely a level to watch. Like sometimes it's really obvious in the chart. 13.5 is where you want to tempt the bounce. If it breaks down, I think it's nasty. And then look at the 16 level on Palantir. If we get back there again, I think that's an obvious short. So we are looking at Palantir just a little bit too late. If you had that on your radar, that was your chance to dip out. Like if Palantir is the stock you trade, then you zoomed out and you should have won today. I think. I mean, you could always, like you could have always been. Maybe you just missed it.
During that whole morning, though. I don't know.
No, this is at 9:50, like 9:54. Like that's. Yeah, if this happens at 9:30, it's easy to miss. When it happens at 9:54, if that's the stock you're trading, I think you got to have it down there. So 13.50, good look. JB says I use the word y'all just as much as you use quite frankly. I doubt that. I like to overuse words, but I do it on purpose for you guys. Like I say quite. The second you guys made a big deal about me saying quite frankly a lot, then I just said it 3 times as much because that's how I roll.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you.
No, quite frankly,
I mean, to be frank with you.
Yeah.
I mean, but so I just want to talk about a couple trades here. I mean, first of all, it's only really the one that I have on. But what the? How come my stop order didn't go for Coke, or did it? 58.60. No. That's why I put 58.60. We're short at 57.60. So okay, so 57.61 was going to be my stop. So it wouldn't have triggered yet, anyways. All right. So just quickly here, if you're going to talk about risk to reward, this one's about as simple as it could be, man. We punched short 58. We are giving it to this level, 58.10. At that point, it was where VWAP was. We talked about it when we took the trade. And then now it's all the way back down. So again, 10 cents for this. We'll take it all day. That's why we started getting out. Our first take was around 10 cents, and then we dripped down. My best out so far is not even that good. It's 74. And then it sort of hovered around. It went back up, and we were like, yeah, is that even like a thing? We could have reloaded it right there at 58, but we did not. So it came back in. We got some more outs in the 80s, and now, again, back through the 50s. So if it breaks through, I actually got a little bit lazy. We were doing the show, and I was talking with Randy and all that kind of stuff, and it's my fault. And it's only costing me 6 cents. But generally speaking, a 50-period break when we've made such a dramatic move is definitely something I want to get out with. So mistake there for me, but hey, hopefully it drips back down, and we'll use that 60 as our route. And we're just using 60 because of right there. We're just looking for some support and resistance, right? We fall down there, we hit 60, we keep on going, we come back in, we hit 60, and we go back up. So let's call it kind of like a pivot point.
Well, if anyone was watching for the first time, did we talk about the story for the short report yet? In the midday, in the morning, we
could talk about why I think we did. Didn't we talk? Maybe Brendan didn't. Actually, wasn't on the list.
It wasn't on the list.
Yeah, so there was a bear cave report that just came out, and we were kind of, Ramin said, well, if Coke is going out of style, then what's she going to drink when she goes to the movie theater? And I was like, okay. Not bad. It's not the first thing I think of. Their biggest contract, as far as I know, is McDonald's. And Coke is absolutely huge. And, of course, a big international drink as well. So I feel like what Bear Cave was talking about was healthy. Now you can drink alcohol. Yeah, by the way,
do the VIP thing.
No. Cineplex doesn't have to be VIP anymore.
Well, you don't have to do the VIP?
No. You can just grab a beer and walk right into any theater. So.
Well, la-dee-da.
All you have to be is 19 here in Ontario. Yeah, well, apparently.
On the islands, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, or if you're my kid, you just go to Loblaws and just, Baxter had a fake ID.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, how does a fake ID even like,
no,
I don't even think he looked that old.
Obviously, like when you first said that, and I don't know why that my head went there.
Loblaws is a grocery.
No, my head went to Barron first.
Oh, my 11-year-old? Nah.
I'm like, Barron.
Do you know that you get in trouble, by the way? Your daughter's too young probably to help you out, but like we went into the liquor store and I don't know if it was Barron or G. I think it was both of them. I just let them hold this wine. Let's walk around like they're my assistant.
If they're really young.
Yeah. And then, anyways, they're not allowed to touch anything in the liquor store.
I see that all the time.
I know, but I'm just saying. The guys told me, he's like, look, I have like the right not to sell you this because your kid is walking around holding it. I'm like, yeah, my kid. You said, you know. Anyways, I'm just telling you know, just in case.
Anyways,
I was going to talk about something else. Oh, yeah. So the Coke. So the Bear Cave report came out. There, it's a downside move. I took the trade immediately as soon as we saw the report. But then it did not go down. And I was like, is it real? And then we confirmed it. And the rest, as they say, is history. So I just want to talk about something here because it's getting a little bit spicy. So AMD here. Remember yesterday I said that we have that feeling There goes Coke just came out. That we had that feeling about a stock not working out and that the market was going down, and it was Microsoft yesterday where it was not retracing back down to the downside, even though the market I felt like was going down. It might have been Apple, but pretty sure it was Microsoft. Well, again, the same feelings here because we took this short at 211, you know, so we took this short on AMD right here in the market. So it was right there. There's 211 in the market. So the market fell down. I'm talking about the NASDAQ 100, fell down 2 days low. And AMD, I mean, it didn't, like, it went down 20 cents. So this name seems to be a little stronger than I had thought. So right now we will still do the trade. We're still in the trade. I'm still really happy with the trade, but we will average it as if I was waiting for 94s. It went to 91s. We'll take a 94 short, which I said aloud to everybody. That's where we're waiting. So we'll wait for 94, and then if it breaks 97, we are gone. This is not something where it's like, let's see about VWAP. No, we're not going to see about it. If we can get a short, that's great. I mean, the short could work. Like if I was at 92, we'd be in the money 10 cents now, right? And so, well, almost 10 cents. So I think this short is still fine, but just relatively strong is this one. The force is strong with this one. Even though it's down 3.5%, it feels like right now it wants to maybe giddy up. And never mind.
The force seems to be strong with EBET. So I'm going to...
EBET, okay.
I'm in this. It's the only long position I'm in. I'm going to explain why. After sort of ignoring the stock for a couple of days, as it was starting to get going, and I know a lot of people, we have a few people in the chat that have been talking this one up, and I've been waiting for it to look like it was setting up. So the volume, I didn't think the volume was great, but here, I'll start with the daily. Like I usually like when you get a rounding bottom and start breaking out on a penny stock to look for a run. And I thought the move at 10, a break at 10 would be big. I thought it was making a move at some point into the 10 level, and I was waiting for it to break out above 8. So you had this like 7 top. You pull back in, you hold the 6 cent level, which is the 50 period. It doesn't really matter. And then on volume today, with volume candle matching the biggest of yesterday, it starts breaking out through the high. I'm like, okay, this is where it makes sense. And then it's just been consolidating here. So I had an 8 break that I kind of worked my price to like 7.8. It rounds up here. So I'm long at 7.87. Yeah, 7.87. That's weird. It's made a couple of small breaks, and I'm now starting to take them because it's doing nothing. And if it does nothing, I have to get out at some point. So it's not really going. This is the reason I'm in it. If you can't figure out that my stop is if it breaks this channel, then you haven't been watching this program. We break this channel down, I'm just getting out of it. It doesn't look like it wants to go today. And maybe it is a little bit late, or a little bit early for this one. CCL, which we are still in the short. Just quickly go over to that. I haven't gotten anything else out. I am acknowledging that it's stair-stepping up, but I wanted to short the pop on this because it's a flat bottom break that we never got to trade. Missed it yesterday. Like it did it yesterday in the afternoon. You broke this 14.9 or 15 level, depending on how you want to look at it. So flat bottom break, looking to be short into that level. And the first spot would have been in the closing consolidation area down here. If it breaks that, then you kind of look at the 14.9 level. So sitting in this one, we'll see how it goes. Ryan's saying they're long Starbucks. We were just talking about Starbucks the other day. I want to say it was 2 days ago. Starbucks, another name. I mean, a lot of things are at the lows right now and still breaking down. I'm assuming you like that double bottom. It's also got, okay, when I say double bottom, it's got a double bottom on the 15. It's double bottom on the daily that I'm talking about. So double bottom on the daily, a lot of names are doing this. I tend to like looking for the short underneath these breaks in a market that's been trending down a little bit more than kind of looking for the dip buy. But yeah, I mean, let's see what you're looking at here. There's your double bottom on Starbucks, down like everything else is, and it's made a nice bounce off that low as well. But it's a trend down. I'm almost always favoring, like, find the short underneath that when it starts flushing. But yeah, Starbucks been under pressure for a bit here. Big level on the daily, though. Yeah,
I just, so as AMD just fell down there, man, we took another piece out. So now we only have, and that's only for 10 cents. All we've been able to get is 10 cents on this stock, but it's gone against me about 15 cents to the high spot there. So we'll take another piece out. That's It's like 20, 40, 60, so we only have 40% left right now, and I'm not super happy with it, but this is the position that I find myself in. So we are going to take it. Well, here it comes now. Okay. All right. No more bids though, right? We'll wait to see if we can get something a little bit better on this name, and then we will see what is up with that. Okay. Is this mic working? I'll give you a second. I need this mic to work. And then I'm going to do something. So, mic is what?
Should be working.
Mic works. Okay. Kat, would you join me on tonight's recap show?
No.
Kat, will you please join me on tonight's recap show?
Yes.
All right, there it is. Thank you. We will have the wonderful Miss Kat. Yeah, heart attack there. I thought we had that planned.
That was actually very well done by Kat.
That was very well done. So
well
that's
played.
Yeah,
very well played.
But then you go, manners. You got to
Well,
ask.
you did not say please.
Right, you got to ask properly. Got to ask.
I didn't even notice that you didn't say please until.
Exactly. I was like, what is this girl doing right now? But I like that. That's good. That's why we like Kat. So tonight, live on the recap show, we're gonna get Kat's picks. We're going to find out what she likes. She's going to be doing some research right now, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Not that salad.
There she goes. There she. There we go. See, she's getting ready to go. So she's going to do that.
And you guys are going to see it live, or not. We'll see what you look at.
And apparently, again, I don't need to hold the mic, but that's fine. I want to give it to her. So there it is, right there. We are going to have.
You don't have to hold the mic.
No, because we have our mics. Remember when I was doing stalking the streets and stuff like that? So I used to go on the street here and I would pick people out from the audience or from the street and be like, hey, you like Tesla? And then go like this back and forth. But that's when I didn't have this mic on. So now, the double mic there. So, all right, it's going to be good, man. Bang on that one. There we go. Everyone liking it. I love this show more and more. So thank you so much, Zoltan. Zoltan also said that our chemistry between Neil and I is undeniable. So that's good. We've only known each other for 30 years. So thank you so much for
it's not. No, I mean, come on, man.
What? Okay, at what age do you go to high school?
No. It's like 28.
Neil.
I already feel old enough. No, it's
what? We know each other from grade 9.
But I don't think we actually met till halfway through grade 9. I want to say
halfway. Okay,
yeah,
now we're okay. But anyway,
I'm just trying to make it not be at 3 decades, bro. Come on, man.
But it's more than 3 decades. It's more than 3 decades.
Have a moment.
How old are you in grade 9? Honestly, 13.
Well, no, I'm December born, so when we go into grade 9, I'm at.
Oh, here we go. There always has to be something with you, right? You know what I mean? But
we're both fall kids. I don't think we met.
I said we've known each other for 30 years. I think that's correct.
Okay, I know you're right. It's just I don't want it to be 30. It's like 20. Let's just call it 29.
Oh my God. Anyways, okay, fine. Me and Neil have known each other for roughly 29 years.
A long ass time.
Right now. So okay. So
we're in fantasy football together. We used to break into Sean's house in the summer.
Yeah.
And
Still
eat
do.
his food and swim in his pool.
Okay, so.
No, we do not still break into it.
I hope you do not.
We had actually, this is a true story.
Now I have an attack cockapoo.
No, but I've never told this story. Did we not have, you were away when you got your first condo downtown. I'm pretty sure you were away at a concert with Mike.
Oh, well, and then you guys were at my con. Oh, yeah, you slept over there.
Yeah, and the entire
a bunch
crew,
of you slept over
we're having our fantasy football draft that weekend. So we're all downtown. We're going out to the bar.
No, but it wouldn't have been fantasy football.
But you were the only person.
Why would I not be there? I would not miss that for a concert.
Either way, nobody had a place downtown except Sean, and Sean wasn't there. So he let us crash at his spot. And somebody broke something that night. It wasn't me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What, you don't remember?
Oh, no, I think it was one of the beds or something.
I'm not going to say who it was.
I think we probably know who it was. I think I probably know who it was.
It was Vikram.
What? Oh, I would have said it starts with a B.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Oh, okay.
No, we went to, I forget the name of the place we went to. We came back to his place. He's a good, Sean's good people.
It doesn't matter.
He lets us use his ish, and we had
all right
fun.
people, yeah.
Good peeps. I don't know what's going on with Geo, man. Explain to me why.
Isn't that the Michael Burry stock?
Well, I don't know if he's still in it. I don't know. I don't want to say that I know Michael Burry invested in this. It's like the prison company in the U.S.
Right.
Look, it ain't been doing anything. So
Brendan just said there was an updated short interest yesterday, so maybe it's a little higher than people thought.
But what's interesting is look at this on the daily chart. Look at the $7 level. And again, the stock's not really doing much, but it's at the high of the day when the market's at the low. And what if this starts breaking out? You like to see for names with a short interest, like can it blow to the upside? Like $8 break on this looks kind of spicy. You just want a catalyst. I don't know what the short float is. I don't know if my trade ideas is going to have whatever that updated number is. I'll probably have to look at a report. 14% is not bad. That's what I see here. So maybe this is a shot to start doing something. 14% shorted, and it's looking like it might break out. Nice little trend to the upside. We'll respect it. I got to worry about an arm and a leg because I'm in the consolidation short. You know me. Give it to the top. It breaks out the top. We get out. So I got bids down, but it looks like ARM might take out that high. Not much happening on Instacart yet. Just don't want to sleep on this. Like you can see what's happening at 30, right? Like it's bouncing for now, but it's lower highs. If this takes out 29.90 underneath, I think this could flush. So it's lulling us to sleep. There goes ARM. That last ARM trade is going to have to get out.
Going to break.
But CART's going to. I don't want to say it is. It's getting pretty darn close to, lower highs all the way into that flat bottom. But it's not 30 that you got to worry about because they've been successfully defending that price even when it breaks. It needs to carry through. Take out 29.90 and then I would join the party. Because you want to get an entry where, okay, like now all of a sudden the buyers didn't step in when it broke, and yesterday, even right at the close, there was a little mini break here, and then in the aftermarket it broke down. They still defended it. Right at it here at 11 o'clock, it broke down. They defended it. In the pre-market, it was kind of defended as well. So it needs to carry through that 30, and it'll be good. Chill vibes. What's up with Splunk? Oh, they're being bought by Cisco. So anybody that's wondering why Splunk is up a bajillion % and not doing anything, I was trading a bit of it today, but so they're being bought for $157 in cash by Cisco. It's trading ways away from the price because it's a $28 billion deal, and not that we talk politics, but it's just true. Since the new administration came in, they've been cracking down. The FTC has been cracking down on large tech deals. So that just means they're asking lots of conditions. They're slower to approve them. So the time value of money means if it takes long to approve, it's going to trade at a bigger spread. If there's a chance the deal doesn't go through because it's not approved at all, then you have another reason for the big spread. Look at ATVI. That's one that feels like it's a slam dunk it's going to close, and you can still get 3 or 4% on that. Maybe even more if I haven't checked in a while. But I was trading this. I'll just show you. Like this is what was happening, like stair step to the upside. I'm like, oh, it's breaking out. What am I doing? You play breakouts. I just played some dip buys on the trend and had one in here, and then it started slinking down, so I just kind of stopped doing it. I don't think I'll do it again, but there were some decent opportunities to kind of scalp trade this Splunk. But with a 157 deal price, there's a limit to how much you're going to want to scalp this because ATVI, like ATVI, it can be prone to some pretty nasty moves if you don't have an obvious out to work. That's weird.
So what
ATVI just actually tanked for no reason.
What happened there with ATVI? What's up to AMA right here? I am aware of the U.S. government shutdown, but that's only because I've heard about it and I was listening to podcasts and they were talking about it. And I feel like the U.S. government shutdown never really happens, but I do want to know some more information about that. So I feel like tonight I'll try to find it as well and figure out what's going on with that because, a shutdown. Okay, so Coke back. Someone just said, can I check out Coke? I don't know why, but, it's at the 200 period right now. Now I'm done shorting Coke right now. Because thing is, it was on that Bear Cave report there, so we'll have to wait to see what's going on. Love you too, peace and relaxing right there. I think we've had a great community here, and as long as we keep on, pushing forward, I think all of us will be able to benefit from everything that everyone here is sharing every single day. So I want to thank Luis Barbado today from Barcelona. That was fantastic.
Baby.
And then we got a treat on the midday show. I have no idea. I said what's up to him. But it was live on the show. Arun was here.
He was back, yeah.
Yeah. So is he back trading? What was that story? Sharif is gone now, or else I would ask him.
Arun was on vacation. Like Max took like a week to go somewhere, to go to Europe, and then he took another week to go to South America. But like Arun went to Europe for like a while.
Remember, I was saying I hadn't seen him trade in months.
Yeah, it was like
literally.
He was. I don't know if he was in Europe for 2 months, but he definitely was on vacation for 2 months with his wife.
Yeah.
So he's back now, and I think it's one of those.
I mean, the Piper. I'd have to start using cocaine first, but
what? Say what in the who now?
Stop sniffing coke.
We had a joke about that this morning.
Oh, is that why? Okay.
No. Well, no.
Off the show.
Off the show. We didn't say that on the show. No, the joke was just. Instead of like if the coffee was feeling a little bit weak, it's like, hey, not that we ever say you should do that. That's horrible. Drugs are bad.
I mean, this is like probably my. I've probably had too much coffee.
I've had more coffee than I normally do, but we were up a little bit early.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, we were up a bit earlier doing a webinar this morning. So if you saw us earlier in the chat, like that was why. So a couple of extra cups of coffee here.
The only cocaine I support is Cocaine Bear. Did you see that movie yet, by the way?
I still haven't had a chance to get
Man, I can't believe me and the wife went and saw that one day. Our kids were at my parents' house. And that was really fun, man. That was a hilarious movie, like so stupid, unbelievable. Ice Cube's kid in that Cocaine Bear.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah.
What's O'Shea? Is that,
I don't know. What, his name?
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, I'm not sure of his name. But kind of looks like Ice Cube. So, by the way, right now, let's go spin it one more time. Money. Yeah. So there goes AMD. Nice move to the downside there, breaking through 97, obviously, and there's the move. So again, like we're short 77. We're going to be out. We don't have a huge amount. We were going to get a little bit more there if it broke, or if it broke up, and it didn't. It went to 92. We were waiting at 94. So once again, we missed a trade yesterday the same kind of way. But there it is. Nice downside move for us here. And AMD, the only stock that I'm in right now, printing nicely back down to the downside. And it's actually broke.
Oh, yeah, the market just hit
the bottom of the day right there. So I remember I was like, we're getting our sort of worried a little bit, our nose up about AMD. But unfortunately, unfortunately we were right. Unfortunately, we don't have more shares. Well, you know, we were like thinking, what do they say like when like your senses are up? Like, anyway, we talked about it there.
Spidey sense.
Well, I used Spidey
your
sense.
Your hair
before.
was sort of on,
up
on your back.
Yeah, so I was a little nervous about AMD there. I thought it was going to go a little bit higher, but thankfully it did not. So there it is right now, a nice move down, breaking, hopefully that, well, not breaking, but it is now down far enough. We're going to hold this one in because it's the only stock that we have left, and I feel like we did a pretty good job. My number one stock today, twofold. I don't have another stock that's even half as much as we've made on Tesla today, and we only have one red stock, and that's Disney on an Apple buy rumor. It wasn't even a rumor. It's someone, anyways.
It was just a story.
It was a story. But anyways, here's Tesla. We shorted it. This is why. We had a huge short early at 260, and we had 260 written down here on the sticky note today, and that seems to have been about as gold as can be. We did have a nice move upside, and when it went upside, we were long. So like we were short into here. That's $5 right there, $5 winner early. Then we reshorted the same levels there at 260,
eBay.
258.50. eBay's moving. We took $1. Then we went short again, and then that's where we got stopped out for 50 cents. And then not only did we get stopped out, but we pushed long, and then we made money long again there, made money, took a long, and then got dropped out, and then we're saving ourselves because now you're kind of barcode nation.
Looks like there's news on eBay here.
eBay? Okay.
So it's Blackstone and Permira said to weigh a bid for eBay backed Advinta. So it's not necessarily directly eBay news, but if eBay owns a piece and they make a bid for it, then eBay would stand a profit. So that's why you're getting a move here on eBay. I'm sure Brennan will have the full story in a second. But if you look at the bounce that eBay just did, I'm not saying you chase this move because if you don't have details of any kind of a deal, well, then you don't really know how much eBay stands to benefit from a sale of something they own a percentage of. But it is running to the upside, 3% up. Now just made a bid off 44 even. A lot of times when it's snap news like this, you look for really key levels. Like look what's happening. Like this is the 50 and the 200 at the same price at 45 and resistance at 45.50. I would tend to think without any further details that might be a level worthy of shorting. And then if you're looking for places to buy the dip, I don't know that I would. Yeah, I don't know if I would love it outside of 44 even. So let's go to Brendo and get the full story.
Yeah, I'm not actually seeing a full story, guys. Looks like just a rumor at this point. Might actually be Bloomberg reporting this, so just be aware. It's a class. I just looked it up. Advinta or whatever it's called is a online classified ad page. But yeah, no details of anything. It looks like a rumor flying around.
Bloomberg rumor, huh? Those have been absolute cash money to buy tops. I'm joking about that.
Yeah, whenever Bloomberg reports something, just take it the other way.
But 45.50 was resistance. I don't know if it's not a bad short.
See Amazon, by the way?
Money fills over 45. Is that at 130 yet?
Amazon broke 130. It just broke 130 now, and it only went down, though, don't be too upset there, it only went down to 80. So we do have a chance to reshort it again right now, so I am looking. Hey, Neil, how's it going?
What's up? I love when I don't even, I'm like sitting here looking at charts, figuring out what I want to look at next, and the camera's still on me.
Yeah, Ramin and Fabian are just chilling right now, so that's fine. They got to hang out a little bit. There it is. Yeah, hey, what's up, Neil? There it is right there. Again.
Why is there a sticker on the bottom?
What's the matter now? Oh, there's a sticker on the bottom. Yeah, because those are new ones. You see how the color is all good?
Yeah,
it's
they're not
all
faded.
faded out from the dishwasher.
It's not done.
Yeah. Okay, so there it is, man. It's a nice move down. We still are respecting the 50-period moving average. So on a little bit of a bump up here, I feel like this is probably a decent short as the market is now retracing back down, and Amazon is now in the pocket for a possible short because now you have a decent out, right? So let's go see if we can get something here. Oh, no, we just put, oh, man, I just offered it again, and we should never do that. I don't know why we look to offer all the time because there it is. Now we've missed out on a couple pennies. We'll try to, okay, I punched some 96s there, so now we're short some 96. We are still waiting for O's. I might as well sit there. And we're going to try this against the 50-period, which is 130.20. So, okay, there it is, man. We always take, there it is, we'll take a dime. We always take a dime, so there it is. We'll take a dime there, although that's only 8 cents. What's up, Brendan?
As we just get past Fed Day, guys, just seeing a note saying Fed Chair Powell is going to host a town hall with educators on September 28th, which is next Thursday, right at 4 p.m. So, Sean, that might be good for the recap show. And he is going to take questions. So Q&A, 4 p.m. on the phone from Fed Chair Powell next Thursday.
There it is.
There you go.
So there we go. So maybe we will finally have our very first call-in show. I will actually answer his call when he phones in, and it will be live on the recap show. So join me on that day, and we'll talk all about Powell. And that's interesting, too, because it's very funny that that's going to happen while the market's closed.
As he
So
should.
maybe trade the futures or things like that.
Yeah, you can always trade the futures. Actually, that's something that I know we always talk about at Day Trade the World. You know, we have to get out of equity positions at the end of the day. If you do trade at Day Trade the World, you can actually trade some overnight markets. You know, your Forex you're still able to do, and for certain futures contracts, you are still able to trade it. When the election was happening, I remember, like, obviously we don't get into politics, but if you weren't watching the very first Trump election and that particular night, the futures were absolutely wild, and there were some traders that were trading overnight, and it was the opportunities were fantastic. So you do want to be able to do that. I do still have a position on. I just want to get to it because it's slowly bleeding into VWAP. It's not really going crazy, but the short off the double top in CCL just came back into this level, 1455. Caught a bid. I'm looking at VWAP for the next fill, but I did want to go over NVIDIA. Whoops, that's in. I don't know where the S came from there, Neil. NVIDIA's, like it's plural somehow. But this is about to, I'm going to jinx it. Okay, fine. It was about to break the low of the day. It just bounced off the pre-market low as I was talking about it. This looks nasty. NVIDIA's a short till it's not. Look at that kind of weirdish flat bottom break at 413. I think you short the pop back into 413. If we break 411, maybe we just take the breakdown. Look at the NASDAQ is breaking the bottom here. I got one short on. eBets probably doesn't follow the market, but you guys know where my stop is on that. It's not really moving. But the NASDAQ breaking down here, NVIDIA has been one of the weakest. I don't see a reason not to be looking for the short, whether it's short the pop into 413, which is easier to see here, or just take a break of the 411. Either way, I'm only looking one direction on NVIDIA until it proves otherwise. If it breaks 13, to me, that's a good enough recovery that you can think about VWAP in there. But until then, power hour is in, and the trend is your friend until the end when it bends. Yeah, no bend today, though.
You should tell that to Obi, because he would really like that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, Obi, I mean, this guy can't come up with anything.
Yeah, he needs to be a little more original.
Like, he needs to, like, I mean, I'm sitting there saying confluence all the time, and it's like,
yeah, flat bottom breaks. I mean, Sharif stole that from you as well.
Come up with your own
stuff.
There's
so many things, man, that have
ridiculous.
What is even going on with
Netflix, Pillsbury
stealing all your stuff?
Netflix setting up a flat bottom break as well.
There we go. See, by the way, right now, let's fire off the hot dog cannon one more time, because there goes AMD. And again, another name that we talked about all day, man, and we wanted to get AMD short. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. But look at this, man. Sticky note, AMD short, AMD short. We talked all about that. We even wrote it down here why we like to short today. I think it was pretty obvious ever since we broke that $100 level. We've been wanting to be short AMD, and now that is multiple times here today that we've rung the register on a nice little short position on AMD. First off, VWAP, now just because that's what we do. We try to give you guys bangers and winners, and that's it right there. Another one for everybody there with Amazon or with AMD, as we are at the low of the day. But I'm not going to, I'm going to steal another line here. I'm not going to look, Neil, a gift horse in the mouth
I knew
right now. So I've come up with that, so you can take it if you want as well right there. But I was thinking about, even if we retrace back, like 96 is trying to break right now, I just don't want to give it all back. We won't give it all back, but we're already short Amazon right now. But the confluence between the two of these just doesn't seem to be working out right now, because Amazon is hovering upside right now and not giving us more than a dime. But right now, the intersection of confluence between AMD and Amazon, shout out to my guy Obi over there, seems to be
a lot of confluence.
There's a lot of it. It's breaking lower, and here we go, here we go, here we go. Nice little downside move right now. But I feel like we need to have a stop somewhere. It's 310. It's power hour, baby. We're on one again right now. It's power hour. So what you want to do is start stacking up. There we go. Oh my God. Can we, guys? Can we get another member of the ominous club one more time here today? It's already been a member once. Can we make double the membership fees here for AMD as it's breaking down and we have a little bit of size following it down? So what is that? Let's just go on that last level. I mean, I'm not going to get too fancy here. Breakthrough of 96, 96.12. We'll take it out, man, because, hey, that is what it is. We are still short Amazon. Well, hopefully we can get that name to work. Let's just take out AMD if it goes back up too much. But I don't know. I mean, it's a 1-minute chart. It's falling down. Let's just let this breathe for a minute and not worry about it. See what happens right now. There goes Amazon, by the way. Hello. Finally, a nice little move to the downside right now for AMZN as we, again, channel our inner Obi and trade a name that he definitely likes. Down goes Amazon into the low of the day. That was easy picking right there.
Yeah, we got a break. I mean, NVIDIA broke 411. I'm short at 98. That was actually a good fill. I want to get this breakdown and go back to the well as well. Oh God, that's actually terrible. On a firm at the level I like, which is this 21.5. I've only really been shorting this channel in here, and it's now breaking down. I was trying to get the short on the offer, but now it looks like it's going to be heading down toward that 21 low. I do not want to miss out on this, so I'm going to try and get in the 30s. It's a short kind of day, so you want to stick to, I think, the plan. I really didn't want to be fighting this thing above 2160, so I'm going to try and get in on the downside here. NVIDIA, like I said, just broke, but I wanted to get to a firm. 410 is obviously a psychological level because it's a round number. It's not Friday or anything, but 411 breaks down. I got this bad wick I'll get rid of. But if we're going to get out some in front of 411 or 410, rinse and repeat this off to 411. And if it breaks 411, call it quarters, I'll look back to that 413 level. So I want a firm as well. And I was just talking in the chat that if Meta, we've now held underneath this support level on the futures. The futures has now gone. If Meta doesn't hold on to VWAP, it has a lot of catch up to do. So I'm looking for this to break down here. And if it gets underneath 296.5, I'm going to add this to the shorts. Obviously, I could have held on to the Meta short, but at the time it was really, really strong. Well, what are you going to do? Sometimes you have to bucket, realize that you got out too early, and then just jump into the trend a little bit later. So looking for a firm if it gets even a little pop. 296.5 break down on Meta because I see the futures having dumped through support, and we are now 20 handles underneath. We were at 14.92, and now we're breaking the even. So as long as we're holding underneath the even, then Meta, to me, should be joining this party. We haven't even touched 2% down. We said this morning, it felt like this is was the most that we'd been down when we started the show in a while. It was like 1.2% to the downside. Cannot remember the last time it was like that, and it felt like it was a get to 2% kind of day. And if we get to 2%, Meta should be taking out this VWAP.
Get it right now. Get it, Amazon. Let's go, man. We're going to do a little bit of face slap here. That was a good one.
What the?
Let's try it again.
No, not that one, man. That sucks. That one's terrible.
That hurt there. But there it goes, man. A nice move down to the downside with Amazon. So there it is again. you know, we did it again. Good one there. Nice move to the downside. Let's just wait to see where we go. We're now at a 60%. We have got an official dollar. Wow, no, we did not. Sorry, I thought I was short at 87. We're 87 cents in the money right now. Look at AMD. See ya. So that was a good move there early on today. And again, if you do like the stream, I mean, so far here this afternoon, I've given 2 trades. AMD down now $1, breaking the low of the day. Amazon obviously breaking the low of the day as well. Let's see how far that goes. So let's go. Let's hit the like and the subscribe. We also got Miss Kat coming on tonight.
Hola. Like and subscribe today.
We're going to have Kat come on tonight. Let me know any questions you might have. Thank you so much, Carly, there in the chat. And again, it is a little bit of a tough job. I mean, Neil and I sit here every day. We're putting real money to work here, completely unscripted, and we feed off a lot of you guys. So thank you so much for all the action that's in the chat. Because
you just don't get the script each morning.
You know, yeah, I got the script for the NFL and NBA upcoming season as well. So I do know who's going to get hurt and who's going to win. But I'm not going to.
Where do you see the script on Christmas?
I'll save it.
It's amazing
for you on that one. But yeah, we are completely unscripted and live here every single day. And all the trades that we put on are real. These aren't sim accounts or anything like that. So we do trade equity names. So anybody asking about that, or equity commodities as well, we do have the ability to do that. Forex, and then pretty soon, hopefully, we'll be able to trade spot bitcoins and crypto and stuff.
But
like
we
that.
have Forex. Neither one of us trade.
No, and you know, and we do trade futures on the show, but I'll trade more. Well, I guess I'm more likely to trade the TQQs, but we do have the ability to do that if we ever see anything that we like on big event days like yesterday or something like that. And then, but anyways, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's not options or anything like that. The interesting thing about our show that's happened and been developed in the market since we started, we had nothing to do with it, I wish we did, was that 0-day expiry. So a lot of the trades that we take, if you guys are trading options, I'll be scalping it out like this Amazon trade there, breaking 130. But if you have a target, like as it's breaking and you like the trade here, if you can come over to the screen maybe, then you could possibly get, you know, like a I don't know. I don't even know how. I mean, I know how they work, but I don't know the pricing of them or anything because I haven't looked because we're on the show. But maybe you can get like a 129.75. Does that even exist or something like that? Because you know that we're going to be scalping these out as they start to fall down, right? And so sometimes we'll have the big winners like that Tesla $5 one, or Dollar Club members like AMD right now and things like that. So I really hope that you, wow, Amazon, okay, do enjoy the show. But hey, I'm going to take 50 cents if I can get it. We'll sit there at, see, I just put a bid at 56. We'll sit there. And why I do a lot of bidding and offering is because we get rebates. So if the market does come in and fills us on the bid and we've added our order to the level 2, then we will get a rebate from ARCA or NASDAQ or whatever exchange we happen to be sitting on there. So just a little bit of a talk right there. And thank you guys for watching. And I hope you're enjoying everything.
Definitely. And one of the things that we talked about, and this, someone asked in the chat, like, Shop's taking it on the chin. Why is it down so much? Well, we were mentioning this. Shop owns 11% of Instacart. So if it's not an IPO that goes
CVYO.
Klaviyo.
Yeah.
Klaviyo. Every single time, I just never want to say the name of that company. I don't know what it is, man. I just hate saying Klaviyo. So anyways, that didn't go well. You know it went to the downside. It actually, I think it was 3 minutes after it opened up or 5 minutes after it opened up, it made its high. It could have been a minute and a half. It seemed like it was really fast. Within the first 5 or 10 minutes, that was the high for it. And since then, it's been pretty nasty. It was already a breakdown on Shop, breaking the 50. I do have a tendency to think that when you make a move like this, I just want my 200 period to load up. There you go. It's been holding well away from the 200 period, and there was a split involved, so that's why that's going to kind of mess up there. But you guys get the idea. If you hold the trend, you don't get to the 200 period moving average. If Shopify breaks the 200 period moving average, I think it gets really nasty to the downside. But a bounce would be anywhere around here, but this is what's happening. It's just bleeding down. Klaviyo, whatever. It's been a nasty one. Let's go back to the market. I did get that next fill. The slow bleed down got to VWAP on CCL. So it was right up at the top. We came on, was already in it. It was still up at the high of the day, kind of still holding right around the price that we entered, and it flushed into VWAP. I like the resistance. It's a flat bottom break on the daily. NVIDIA is still kind of chilling out off of those lows, the 11. It has bounced off 1033, little magic. Larry Bird, actually, what am I saying? Magic's 32. Yep. Bouncing off little Larry Bird. I do not necessarily want to get trapped at this bottom. I'm looking for a place to reload But if you look at the futures here, you know, the acceleration to the downside's abated, so let's see it make another leg down. I still want to add, I'd love to add Meta to the short, but Meta, this is why you look for it to actually give up VWAP. Like, I wanted to make sure that it was breaking down underneath to go short. It bounces off VWAP, so I'm not in it because it doesn't break down. It actually bounces off VWAP, and I'm not thinking long. I'm thinking short right now until proven otherwise. If I see something happen in eBet, I'll let you guys know, but that stock is still doing absolutely nothing. And Instacart, which I do have on my brain because I'm still waiting for it to lose this bottom. They're really defending this 30 price. You know, credit to the underwriters here. They do not want IPO investors to be red, and they're definitely holding out. But at some point, this is going to break, and when it does break, I want to get that fill.
Okay, just real quickly as we keep on going there, we did get an Amazon fill. I actually put the bid at 61 instead of 56. I don't know. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but hopefully it will continue to make a move down. And then as I'm looking at this too, AMD, I mean, you know, we joke, well, we don't joke, but we talked about it, you know, like, is it going to join the dollar club and all of this? But realistically, we are just, that's still AMD. It actually did hit the dollar club right there. It went to 86s, but I'm going to use the max teal line, which is purple on mine, 96.20 as an out there for AMD because, you know, again, we could hold this, but we can't hold it overnight. So if it does make a move back up, it's either I get it out now or I just have to, you know, possibly play a little bit of a move up. We do have the imbalance number. Let me get this out right now so I don't talk about this too much before we go there. Stop price right there. So, okay, we're almost going to get stopped out of this. It is a good thing. So we only have a small piece left of both Amazon and AMD as they're both heading back up a little bit now up anyways, back up to the upside. So let's just pay attention to what's happening here and see, whoopsies, see if we're able to do anything there. Whoops, no, it did not hit. I thought it hit there. It did not. So that's good so far. I thought we were breaking. We did not. So let's just give this a little bit of room there, back up to the upside. But the NASDAQ, why are we bouncing from here? Let's have a little bit of a bigger look just to see if we're at any levels. Okay, so we've already talked, I mean, this is the level that we talked about earlier today, 14,900. Should have just looked at that myself. We don't even have to see a chart. Nice 14,900. So there's the move down. We actually talked about this level yesterday, 15.2. That broke there at the end of the day and heading into the close. So right now, 14.9. You know, the next levels, and then after this, it is bad. We do not want to break 14.6. So that's not even that far away. But if you break this August low, I mean, then you got to go back. And I mean, I could zoom back here and we could find out where the next level is exactly.
I want to look at a weekly.
There it is. Okay, so there's 14. That's 14.6 right there. So when you go back, that goes all the way back to June levels where we were last time down at 14.6. So you're going to go back, to give back the whole summer. So it's not a hot girl summer today. It is going to be a hot garbage NASDAQ summer if it gives it all the way back. But, you know, it's been a great summer to trade. So let's not,
But that's the way the market works, man. There's got to be pullbacks.
Yeah.
And this has been a pretty strong bull run. When the market's up this much, you're going to get a 10, 15% pullback. And 20% is not crazy either. It's been a ridiculous run. Like, you can talk about the S&Ps up, but the NASDAQ has been insane on the year. So they did run my stop on eBet. So I said I'd show you this if something happened. It did break the bottom. You know where my stop was at 7.5. I got 7.4 out. Maybe it's not today. It feels like it's a stock which is trying to go. Looked like the volume was going to be good, so I wanted to have that shot in there. You know, 7.8 long, stop 7.5, look for the run to possibly get to $10 cents. I want to say it's just easy to jump back and forth. SPRY, this was one that we said. I saw the question about that. Almog in the chat, explanation for it. So, and I don't know exactly what the explanation you want. It's a bit of a relief rally here on SPRY. I know Sharif was looking at this. If you look at what happened the last couple of days, Quadunk, hold 3, bit of a bounce back to the upside. There's nothing going on with it right now. So it went parabolic on a breakout. $4 was resistance. So it got pretty darn close and stair-step down. I don't know. Maybe you're wondering what's happening here. So when you see this dynamic, like 10 times out of 10, like I'll show you guys level 2. It's just it's an iceberg order, and what I mean by that is you're expecting to see a brick wall at 360 and you don't. It's done 13 million shares and there's like a couple thousand shares on the offer, not even that, 1,300 shares on the offer. Yet it can't break. That just means you have an iceberg. So regardless of how many shares you see on the offer, there's just more. They're probably in the dark. Well, I don't have my scroll bar on my time and sales, but you're probably looking at a bunch of dark orders here that it just can't seem to punch through. So there's legit sellers at 360. You're just not going to find them on the level 2. The chart's telling you there's legit sellers here. That might mean a breakout of that level could be good. Like if it takes 65, you risk 5 cents back into 60, and then maybe it can go. But yeah, a bit of an iceberg happening here on SPRY. And if you don't have a level 2 up, like if you can't see that there's no size in the level and it can't break, it's a pretty solid guess usually when you have the volume dying and a barcode that you're probably looking at an iceberg order. Sometimes it might just be someone that stuck a big order on the offer, but it's more likely an iceberg. So that's what's happening. We do have NVIDIA getting back through 411, so I got back out break even. I'm still thinking 413 can be good. The market has held 14.9, so I don't want to get trapped at that bottom. I want to look at the 413 level next for NVIDIA. So we had the short in here. It stalled at 410. Now I'm thinking about the 413. Should have just gone long Meta off VWAP maybe. Anyone take that Meta long? That wasn't a bad bounce. You could have risked like 30, 40 cents. Get yourself $1. Still favoring short, I guess. That's the problem.
I think that's why we did the sort of the expansion there of the NASDAQ, because we saw that level of 14.9. And, you know, it's a small little bounce. We'll see if it can hold it right there. We did, you know, unfortunately, we talked about our outs. And again, this is what's about being real on the show. Like, we talked about where our out was. AMD did rip through, not rip, but AMD did hit 96.21 there. And that was the stop that we had in. So unfortunately, that is the end of our AMD trade. And it was a banger. So we're pretty happy with it. Can't complain, can't complain. We are at the highest spot we've been at all day, and we don't have any losing trades on board. We traded Apple, AMD, Amazon, Disney, Intel, what's JP Morgan doing? Holy geez. Wow. Look, I mean, so this is our JP Morgan trade today, by the way. I guess we got out at the 50 period, maybe a little bit too early. Short 149 right there on JP Morgan today. So there's a banger of a trade. But, I mean, I can't believe I'm like upset that we took $1 on it, but still, nice move to the downside. And again, we held it all the way through, right? But then when we took the 50 period, we got out. So unfortunately, the 50 period then continued just to loop down, and the 50 period hasn't been that good there. So we'll keep that in our mind. We haven't traded the banks too much, but again, that was a good shot. We talked about that on the recap show, by the way, that we wanted to go short JP Morgan until we broke 150. So good trade there. Small amount of risk to make $1. I think it was 5 or 6 to 1. So all good on that one as it goes. And make sure you do join me tonight at 4 o'clock, as we'll have Kat with us there. We'll talk all about different things, and that should be a lot of fun. Plus, we'll do our market recap. We'll talk about the earnings plays. We'll talk about some FedEx and who else is on board tonight, which reminds me, I got to get the content going for that after show as well. And we'll do that in a couple of seconds. All right, so we got out. Oh, damn you, AMD, as that making the move down. And then I said we were positive on everything. Z, not true, because Disney was the name that we did step up and in on. That was right at 2 p.m., right when the show started. There was a potential rumor with, not rumor, but a story about Disney and Apple maybe finally coming together, and that was a nothing burger, and that went down to the downside right there. So we do have a 10-cent hit there on Disney that we have to talk about, but other than that, not much going on right there. But I guess we should have held that JP Morgan, and I guess we should have also held that Advanced Micro Devices as that's heading. No, it ain't over, but I mean, we got out 30 cents ago.
But the market's still testing the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We're not short anymore. So that sucks. We just have Amazon, which is 30 cents in the money.
Yeah, I'm down to CCL, but Meta's right back testing VWAP. It could still make that break. In 90 seconds, we're going to get the early look on the imbalances. I don't know if there's going to be anything, but you know, if it's a gigantic buy, maybe that's an opportunity to short a pop, and then if it pairs off, then you get the flush. I'll probably not care about a gigantic sell order. Someone had asked, we had a couple of questions about eBay. We talked about this potential selling of a company they're invested in or whatever. It's actually sold off that news. I was saying the money fills would be above 45, but you didn't really have a chance to get that unless you were lightning fast. And the idea behind that is, if you don't know, if it's a rumor and there's nothing firm, then maybe you're looking for the fade play. You find a resistance level. Okay, look at the daily chart. Above 45 is resistance on eBay. It's kind of clear as day there. It gets above 45 every time you get wicks. So like a wick above just means that you're rejecting a price level and not spending any time there and selling back underneath. That's what I would look for a quick little bit of a news play. Buying the dip, unless I have a grasp of the news and I really think it's good, which sometimes we do. Like we've done that with Disney before. It's like if I think the news is good, you buy the dip. If I don't have any read on it, and I think maybe this is just a kind of rumor going nowhere, potentially, then you want to short that top if you can. Yeah, NVIDIA got out with that tight stop, and it doesn't get to 413, so let me just cancel that. I don't know how long I want to leave in that breakdown for CART, but it is 3:30, so it's getting a little bit late in the day for it to break the bottom. The problem with defending an IPO price, it's a lot easier the closer it gets to the end of the day, the less room for it to work to the downside. And if someone just wants us to close above 30, they have to fight less the closer it gets to the end of the day. So you know what, I'm going to cancel any idea of going short through that level, because my experience tells me that if you don't break it by now, they're going to be able to hold it to the close and you look for the break tomorrow. And CART for me was one I had to learn the lesson from yesterday, right, where it rinsed the shorts before it really started to work. So it rinsed my short, and then I had to be able to get back in. But this morning, if you're watching the show, it's like I'm just going to stick with this one. If it rinsed my stop, I'm going to look for my entry point. And fortunately, it was just one shot. I got back in, and then it started working right away. I am now in Meta, so that just broke down the half. That's right here. It's crazy. I've only been short Meta in an uptrend, but it's been working, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. Long would have been nice. We've now broken VWAP. If it gets above 97, we get out. The early look is a 700 million sell imbalance. It's not gigantic. It doesn't make it bad. I don't think that necessarily moves the needle. The question is going to become, can the futures make that run to 2% to the downside? Matt Carnes, you're right. Instacart opened options today as well. Sometimes that can give it more catalyst to the upside. At this point, I'm just thinking about they're defending $30. And that's where my key is going to be. So if it gets too far away from that price, I'm going to like the shorts. As it gets closer to it, I'm going to look for the breakdown. And I'm not going to really dabble in that kind of tight range around 30 even.
Reminds me of Brian Dable there tonight with the Giants.
He's got his hands full.
He's got his hands full, that's for sure.
Without Saquon?
San Francisco, and then Daniel Jones running around. That guy's going to have a lot of rushing yards today, I think, Daniel Jones.
He better.
That's a good one. Hey, maybe we talk about that on tonight's show. Prop
Check out the
bets.
props. Yeah, like
do that, man. I think Daniel Jones over whatever his number is for rushing, honestly. I should actually maybe just bet that my damn self right now.
if Ayuk doesn't play, though.
If Ayuk doesn't, yeah.
Then it's got to be a Kittle game.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, you could go over.
Kittle hasn't been getting a lot of yards. His yard over under probably is pretty healthy to the downside because he's been kind of, without touchdowns, he's been garbage. So I don't wonder if he gets some value there. Like Purdy just tries to find somebody. Anyways, we're taking San Fran.
Wandale Robinson is coming.
Why do you keep talking about
we will discuss. So thank you so much, HPDS, right there. We are going to talk about the Tesla trade. We're going to review that. I want to talk about why we liked it and why it's on the #1 name there for the sticky note. What's up, Obi, in the background there? Hope he's doing well as well. And we'll talk all about that stuff. So yes, join me today. We'll have a good show. We'll have Katrine coming on. We'll have trade review. We'll have sector recap. And today is when you want to be part of sector recap, because the NASDAQ is see ya later, man. Huge downside move happening right now. And we talked about this. We had Chris Brecher on yesterday from Simpler Trading. We've talked all about the market weakness and what we felt was going to come after Fed. And I said to Chris yesterday, I'm like, look, I'm not buying anything till at least October 1st. I feel like the September swoon is here. The NASDAQ's down over 4% now for the month, like 4% for the month. Like, that's huge. So we'll see if it can recoup some of that in October. The seasonality coming through October, November, generally been pretty strong up months in the S&P. So, you know, I still feel like there'll be some of that. There's going to be good talk as you head into the next quarter. We're going to get reloaded on earnings, right? And we'll see if they can hold out. And I mean, part of this is honestly just that there was a lot of positive feels, honestly, about, hold on a second, a lot of positive feels about NVIDIA and about AI and that AI trade, and that was going to raise all ships, right? We talked about high tide. And that's exactly the point, is that it did. It carried everything through. Then all of a sudden, NVIDIA comes out, and not only do they beat that $11 billion number that they they went from $4 billion to $11 billion. Then they came out with beating that $11 billion number. I think it was $12.6 billion on the rev. And then all of a sudden, that was its highest spot, earnings day, and then now NVIDIA's been spitting down. So I think you got to get a little bit of a correction play happening here in NVDA, and then when that does come through, AMD's still at $96 as Amazon's pulling through. We're going to have to see what happens at 4 bills. So like I said, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I do think that we have a chance to open up underneath 400. And then when that happens, attention to everybody who's interested on what happens when a key level breaks. I mean, this is what happens. $100 broke. Sure, the market's down today. Obviously, it's not coincidental. I mean, if the market was up, AMD would not have broken this level, I would assume. But there's what happens when you break 100. You go way down. So we'll see tomorrow. Will that create another sort of capitulation event?
I like it.
You know, word of the day. I don't.
But capitulation.
Yeah, we always use that word. Okay, who cares?
Yeah, that's
a weak ass word. But anyways, I just think that maybe you get that event on an NVIDIA that kind of wipes everything, and then if you get a move down to like 380, something like that on NVDA, then I could see that.
373 I have for support.
Okay, so you have that. Yeah. So okay, whatever. I mean, that's fine. Like that's the kind of move down, and there it is right there, probably that you're talking about. Right into this level.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, back from May. So if we can get a sort of a flush down there, then maybe that wipes out all the weak hands, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, because anyone that bought early on the AI craze, it's like that seems like a level where they don't feel that good about themselves. I want to shout out Ryan in the chat because we were talking about Starbucks and this level, and you're wondering why would Starbucks kind of fly through this and kind of accelerate through a random price at the low of the day. And if you're just tuning in now, was this double bottom? And to me, when double bottoms are breaking in a downward trending market, you want to short it. Right. What I love about it is, I'm like, yeah, you out? And he's like, yeah, I'm out. Had a tight stop. Because he's looking for the bounce off a support level on a downtrend. So if you're long in here, like that's like 93.80, man. You're like, that's 10, 15 cents. I don't know, like at worst case scenario, maybe you're long at 94. Just get her out, man. And you break to the downside, great. If you happen to be short. But there's nothing wrong with taking shots off support levels or big levels as long as you have yourself an out. That is the key. If you have an out on, everything starts with where am I wrong on a trade. Speaking of which, let's go to Meta because I was looking for the short underneath. We just wicked 14.9 in the NASDAQ. Let me show you here. There we go. So you just wicked that 14.9. So you got under 14.9, you're looking for the continuation. And the way I see it is if we continue down, lots of room underneath, and Meta has a lot of places that it can go to catch up to this move to the downside. And that could be whether it's like $1 or down here to 94 support. That could have been $2.50. But hey, if we get back above, reclaim VWAP, get through the even, I risk 50 cents on the trade plus a little more, like call it 55. But I think we got a couple of dollars to the downside. And the quote I like to use, and it's not my quote. A lot of traders have said this before. Losing is the cost of doing business, right? Like every time I'm into Meta, I'm in here at 95. I'm giving it to the local high. Right, like we're risking 50 cents again on this one. It gives you $1. I'm doing the same thing here. It happens to work out. I have way too tight of a stop on this entry, and I know why. It's because I got into it. I'm like, this is a bad trade. This was a bad trade. Right, like this is the reason I was taking it, and I did not like that at all. It was way too strong off the high of the day. Whereas if I wanted to short off this level, I should have been short here or here, even though they don't work. And then we wait for the double top that did eventually work out. But I knew where I'm wrong up here. I'm just looking at it's a false break of 300. I'm out at the high of the day. Right, so everything starts with where am I wrong? And once you establish that, you know you're going to get out. If you don't say where or what it means to be wrong on the trade, you're just not going to get out of it, which sometimes can work out. Like if you were, let's be real for a second. Like if this high breaks, like I'm short here and it breaks the top, I'm like, yeah, I'm not wrong. I'll just short more here. 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 And then more here. You would have made money because it goes all the way back into VWAP, like underneath where you started. So that actually would have worked. But if it breaks 300, then I'm max in like 5x what I intended or whatever it is when it breaks that top and it looks really ugly. So I'm happy for you that you found a good level on Starbucks. The risk reward wasn't bad for you. I feel like if that one goes, you can see a VWAP retracement easy on something like that. A double top, a double bottom on the daily, that can get back to VWAP for you, and the risk to reward is 3-to-1 there. So that's not a bad trade as long as you get out, which you did. Let's go to the desk and take care of some business.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
So when you have a monster, like you had the Swiss, you had Sweden, you had the Bank of England. Yep. Yesterday we had the Fed. When all that's happening, like that's kind of you want to be looking at some currency. If that's what you do, like that's your Super Bowl, for lack of a better term. You know, it's your Champions League final if we happen to be talking about Europe. You're excited for that, and the opportunities to trade that I think are fantastic. The only trading on Forex I've ever done is when they first added it to the system. Did some
like doing some testing.
Did some beta testing for it. Like if you like John knows this. Like when you're at this is like the head office floor for Day Trade the World. So when you're here, if you're like the risk manager, you sit on the bridge. One of your jobs is when something's new, you test it out. I remember testing the futures, and we've tested Forex, but that's the last time I traded. I'm not a Forex trader. It's a different beast. If you're a Forex trader, you gotta stay up at night sometimes. A lot of the best moves happen overnight. It's kind of like crypto that way, and you don't want to miss out on them. So IG gives you an opportunity to do that. Steve G, I see SoFi approaching midterm support. Have we looked at SoFi recently? I want to say no, but let's do it now. I'm just in one trade. It's 340. We're probably going to be holding this one ideally to the close.
Hold it.
Okay, you're 789. Like we're literally, you just said 789. Like 789 is the bottom by 2 cents. Oh, my daily chart hates me there. All right, let's go to the well, baby. We're just going to put trade ideas on the spot because you just saw my daily chart not loading up. Oh my goodness, aren't you right about that? Look at the daily. Flat bottom breaks to the left of them, to the right of them, and everywhere. Like, this is insane. Everything is sitting on support. And what happens when everything sits on support? Let me just zoom this in so you can see. When you see so many names like this sitting on support, one of two things are going to happen. We're either going to have some kind of like relief rally where you get a pop before we flop, or it's just going to be an ugly Friday. And you want to be ready for either one of those things. Like, don't get married to the notion that every one of these levels that we see is going to break down and just give you 10%. Because it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes it's a trap. So yes, am I going to be looking for flat bottom breaks tomorrow? Sure. But I'm not going to just be sitting there if a bunch of things break, these like Li Auto breaks down and CCL continues to be a flat bottom break and SoFi gets underneath the level and just say, it's going to work, it's going to work. And if they all start recovering at 945, you just kind of average into it. No, above those levels, don't fight it. Support till it actually breaks. So it's the same thing with Instacart. Like it needs to get under that 30 level. I'm still going to take it tomorrow if it does happen. But that's a good support level for SoFi. Just watch out below. Don't fight the long underneath. You know, let it hold the level and then worry about it. And it's interesting here on SoFi because I don't know what was going on up here at 8.05, $8.05. Is this chart working now? No,
SoFi that low right now?
No, SoFi, yeah. If I don't know what was going on here at 8.05, but it looks like that was a really good scalp short.
Oh wow!
There, whether there was size down there on that offer.
Flat bottom break, boy.
I mean, if you're waiting around for a good price, like say you wanted SoFi on the dip. When the flat bottom breaks, maybe you go to the 200 period at $6. Pick her up if you like it.
What's up with all that loan repayment right now? Because wasn't there supposed to be...
people are starting to have to repay.
Right. So that's good for SoFi, no? Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they're just thinking that the debt is too large. I don't know, but that's a good break there for SoFi down below $8. I do like that trade for sure. But for right now, though, man, Amazon just went back down to the low of the day as Neil's fixing his chart. That's all good, baby. 129.36. We just hit on Amazon, giving a nice little win. We didn't take anything out, man. I think we just should stay net short here into the close, and we only have Amazon. But let's look at something else. You know what? The name that we had the other day, shout out to Daryl and everybody else there in the chat, because we wrote down, and I have the sticky note, I was just looking at it right there, what about a 50 breakdown on Square? And I mean, that broke with a vengeance and broke real quick, man. They had their CEO, they just replaced her. She came in 6 months ago or so. Jack Dorsey apparently now back in the building. We're going to figure out what exactly is going on with Square, because there needs to be more work done on this name. This has been an absolute, like, you know, it's one thing to talk badly about management or something. I don't know the situation and what happened there. But the fact that this was $82 back August 1st, like August 1st, man, like we've only had like 30 trading days or something. 20 plus, yeah, okay. And I mean, that is pathetic. Like you had a little bit of a bump there off those lows, and we saw PayPal getting bumped up a little bit off that as well. But then, you know, if you're going to talk about 35 days or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're like 3 to 1 and change on red days there, and it is just bleeding, man, all the way to the downside. So this could be a name that you just continuously short every single day. Square getting beat up. I mean, I like the stuff behind PayPal because what's it called? Braintree is their payment system that is connected with, I'm going to say DoorDash, I believe Instacart possibly as well. Uber for sure is using their payment sort of to accept payment, you know, on their app. So there was some talk about that. But even PayPal, I thought I would look this up right now and see that it was not doing the same thing, and it's not. We did have a nice move back, but PayPal also retracing back down to its bottoms now. So, I mean, yeah, man, everything right now in the space not looking great. And there it goes. And just talking about fintech, you can look at other names. Let's check out UPST. And again, UPST is special because of the short float.
Yeah, it's
now,
got a. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the short float is on PayPal.
Oh, never mind.
No, I have UPST right here. So Upstart is still 37% right there. And you could see Upstart again. Remember when this was what, a $70 name? Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. $70 down to 27 now. I mean, if you didn't see that coming,
Tony Bottom.
I would just say try to look a little bit harder next time. Forget about Affirm, but PayPal. And again, the reason why I talk like that is not that I can't predict where stocks are going either, but it's just we knew Upstart was a short float issue, right? Yeah. And so the minute that came through, we knew there was going to be a problem. Where's the short float on here? So PayPal's nothing, 2%.
Upstart's 37.
We just saw that, yeah,
insane.
36.8.
Even Affirm is like half
SQQ,
that.
no, SQ, man, how is this automatically? Slow down.
You type too fast.
Do I? SQ. Oh, it's because does it not have square? It just keeps, push space. There we go, okay. There we go, now square, 3%. So took me a while to get there, but there it is, 3% now on square. So it's not a short float issue, right? It's just
it's struggling.
Get the hell out of the way of this stock.
So
346, by
it's way too tempting. Because remember I was saying like the closer.
Is it like an apple fritter in front of you or something?
Oh, I'll eat that too. We were saying that like the closer you get to the close, if you're defending the IPO price and it can't seem to break, it's just easier to close it above 30 when you only have to defend it for another 12 minutes, 13 minutes or whatever it happens to be. So I just took some twos here on Instacart. And I'm not going to give this, I was going to short 29.90, but I'm not giving this underneath 30. If it breaks 30, I'm going to be out of it. But yeah, why not? Like I didn't do this yesterday and it was a good scalp bounce, so why not just do it here today? I got some twos, I'm going to throw a bid there at 1, see if I can't get that. And if it happens to bounce, great. And there's some size underneath 30, like there's some orders at 97 and 95. So I don't think slippage will be all that bad either. This will not be what happened on Facebook's day for anyone that was trading way back then when there was like 15 million shares on the bid at 30. It's just a very modest order on Instacart. And at no point has there been gigantic size down here. Like it's not, there's nothing crazy. It's just they're not letting it get past. And when I say they, I'm speculating that the underwriters are bidding this, right? So I'm not, like it's not tinfoil hat. It's just one of those things that happens when you have an IPO. Typically on the early days, there is bid support at that issue price and it tends to bounce off that level. I don't have to tell you that's what's happening. You can see it on the chart that is what's happening with Instacart. So I'm in it at 02s, I have a bid at 01. I'm just gonna scalp it inside of this range, like 30, 20, 30, 30. Looks like it's the local high, so I got bids once it breaks 10, offers once it breaks 10, and we'll see if we can't get out. CCL, this is, it's slowing down, we have 10 minutes to go, but it got above VWAP again, so I got some out. Right, we get the top, and if it manages to hold this bid, it's got support here clearly at 1450 in VWAP. So I'm going to continue to take that one out to the downside as that continues to flush. What else we got going on? High, what about Riot? It's got a good short float. You know, we haven't really looked too much at crypto today.
No, we haven't even talked about, well, we had our segment there. Update, it would not be a trading show if we did not talk about sports. Bryce Young missing Carolina's game on Sunday.
Were they playing?
I am not sure, but that is a good point to look up for our survivor pool, maybe.
We might want to take
right there. I'm not
them.
sure who they are playing.
Oh, I know this because I'm starting a running back against them. So I want to say, is it Seattle? Because I think I have Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't think I have. Oh, I have the Panthers D. Yes, Panthers at Seattle. So
in Seattle without Bryce Young, I don't even know the backup quarterback. But we still like San Fran tonight, and I mean, is
Dallas or KC?
Like, is Dallas going to lose to Arizona?
The Panthers might not lose to Seattle either, but Seattle I think is 0-2. Oh no, they got that overtime.
No, they got to win.
Yeah, they got to win.
What do you guys
Denver,
think?
Right? No, I'm not asking. Well,
Andy Dalton's the quarterback.
Actually, that is right. Actually, the Red Rifle.
Oh, we knew that? I didn't. I don't think I knew that.
I thought I saw Andy Dalton sign some.
No, I believe it.
Okay, there it is. So now we have the imbalances coming out to come over here. We'll throw them out. Well, if it's Andy Dalton, then we maybe have to go all in.
We got to think about
that one almost immediately. Let's just check out what is going on right now. The TLT, we saw that yesterday. This is not going to be a big thing to worry about. Obviously, we know what the TLT is there, the Treasury, but the 20-year Treasury, right?
Microsoft
is big sell on that one. Apple with a big sell. Watch this market try to bleed down a little bit now, potentially. Taking 14.9 again to the downside. We saw Roblox with a buy. Interesting, as Roblox goes into the year of efficiencies with cutting 30 jobs today. Google with a down. I shouldn't laugh. I have no idea. I mean, I don't want to laugh at anybody losing their job. It's just when that story came, I was like 30, huh? Okay, so nice move to the downside. That's on their acquisition side, so I don't know exactly what that means. Apple, Intel, Microsoft, all the big boys. Look, whoosh, down. Apple, whoosh, Intel, not quadunk. Google, Amazon. I'm in it and didn't do anything. After that, there's our boy down there. What's up, Palantir? Making a move as well. But bounced nicely off that 1350 you talked about. Rivian with a bid. I'm just trying to go over some names that people may be in. And
just quickly, I want to show you guys.
Nothing's really moving though, guys. So
again, this is happening. Like the $30 level on CART, and it goes into the quarter, and it's probably going to come right back in here to 30. You're running out of time for the defense. Like maybe one more chance off the 30 level, and it'll bounce again. Because you have a really tight stop underneath there. And I just remembered something. We can't bet against Andy Dalton.
It's $4.5 billion to sell. I don't know if I said that.
That's a gigantic number. We cannot bet against Andy Dalton because
of the Bills.
As a Bills fan, I should have remembered this. Andy Dalton single-handedly, we had that big playoff drought.
Yep, I know.
And Andy Dalton single-handedly threw a miracle touchdown to Boyd to send the Bills to the playoffs. And I will never forget it because I scared the living crap out of my daughter. Like, we're sitting down to dinner, and I had the TV on, and I'm kind of watching the game when I should be sitting down. We always have dinner as a family together, and we're not supposed to have the TV on, but the Bills were playing. Well, so the Bills are going to the playoffs if Cincinnati won, so I was watching the game.
Bro, most people would watch the game. You don't have to justify it.
No, it's a family thing. And so I jumped out of my seat at the dinner table and started doing laps around the house when the touchdown happened. And my daughter was relatively young, and she was freaking out about it. My wife was rolling her eyes, and I'm like, it's the Bills, man. When they had that KC game, I jumped out of my couch over. I get excited about the Buffalo Bills, and so shout out to Andy Dalton. We're not betting against you, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Lone Sophos, I feel TV during dinner. I grew up that way, and they were like, dinner time is like, have a conversation, you eat together, and then I'm the only one that violates that rule when the Bills play. So,
yeah, there's four of us, and all four of us eat dinner together every single night. And so sometimes we even eat at 9 at night. Like, it's that crazy because we have to make sure that we do it all together. So shout out to anybody else that does that. But it has to be according to your schedule, right? Like 9 is probably too dramatic. It's not that late, but maybe between 8 to 8:30 because when I'm coaching Little League and stuff, I mean, those games don't end until 8 generally. And then you get home and whatever, you have prepared dinners or put something on the barbecue. All right, only a couple more minutes left. Right now, Amazon back down. Oops, I'm not even on Amazon. I'm on Rivian. Nice move to the downside right now. I think that we just take this out at the bottom of the day, right? Put 50 cents in our pocket. This is the best level that we've been able to get for Amazon. So let's go a little bit lower and see if we can get a 40. I got to go over and get the after recap, sorry, not the after show, the recap show ready to rock and roll here. Make sure that you do join me because here it is right now. I'm just going to show it to you. It is with Ola right there. We have Miss Cat coming through as well tonight. So join me. We'll talk all about the sector recaps. What sectors have been hot today. We'll talk about the home sector. We'll talk about FedEx, how that's been trading. And there it is right there.
And what is Cat putting in her TFSA? That's the question.
Yes, we will find out what her #1 investable name is, and then we'll get that going. And then I will also ask her if she knows what a TFSA is.
No, she just confirmed she does actually have one.
Like and subscribe today.
The worst thing is I basically set up an account, and it was just, I wasn't going to get into the details, it doesn't matter. And that was that I started buying stocks for my kids, and I asked them what to buy, and that was Roblox. But I think I'm long Roblox, like 50 or 60 or $70.
I thought Barron said Microsoft.
And now it's
good.
Oh no, yeah, Microsoft. We have a whole bunch of different ones, but it was just a matter of like giving them stocks to trade. And
at Barron's age, Roblox is probably just fine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it was just a fun.
Like my pops might not want to sit on that one, but just a couple of things here. First of all, a TFSA is a tax-free savings account here in Canada. If you're not in Canada, you probably don't know what we're talking about. It just allows you. I mean, it is exactly what it says, so I don't really need to explain that, do I? RSP is kind of like our 401k and then tax-free savings account. We have 5 minutes to go. I just got under VWAP on CCL, and I should probably take the rest out because it's the end of the day, Neil. Let's get out. We got the top.
Look at this
we like the short tomorrow.
Here, I was just going through my Instagram. Here's me and Neil, a couple of our friends that we went out in the summer on a nice patio. So that was a lot of fun there. So we have some people.
Maybe that's where you traded Cooper Cup.
Here is my lovely daughter from Rome. We are in Rome right there. So I'm just going down to try to find out. There she is. Like, how badass is this picture for her? You can.
I love those glasses.
Yeah, here's Randy again.
Nair used to wear those.
Oh, here he is. This is what I was looking for. Here's my guy right here. And there's a little there. This is when he came on, and he was the #1 analyst for Tradertv.live, and this is when we talked all about Microsoft at the big screen. So there he is right there.
Is there any way in that picture to see where you were talking about Microsoft? Because it was probably a hell of a buy at that time.
Well, yeah, at that time. I mean, this was
what's the date?
17 weeks ago.
Hang on, let me.
So go there, and there he is right there. We have this little handshake that we do. It's not too complicated, but shout out to my family. The reason why. You know, I basically do everything. So there it is right here. Anyways, my lovely wife again. You can go find out. Oh, here's, I met, Rick Vive, by the way. That's Noodles, but Rick Vive is here as well. Okay, anyways, let's go on.
First 50-goal scorer in the league. Was he first or second?
Not I don't think the first.
Maybe this. Well, he was the only one in the 80s.
He was in the 80s, that's why.
The only one that was scoring in the 80s is the answer. So 17 weeks ago.
I think it was about $230 probably.
So call it, how's about good? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I'm not counting.
Throw a dart at that.
I'm not counting bars. It was a good buy.
I just want to say bye to everybody because I'm gone for the weekend. So everybody have a great, There it is. Have a great
You're doing the after show.
Of course, I'm doing the after show. I'm going to be there, but just join me in a couple minutes. I'm just going to go get ready at the desk. Neil will take you into the close, but thank you so much for watching, and we should have a fun one. Join me at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, with Kat, who's right behind us.
Who may or may not come because she had that.
Very nice leather jacket, although I'm wondering why you're wearing a leather jacket indoors.
Part of the, and it's also part of it's part of the attire, man.
I know it's like I say that jokingly, but how many times?
What am I doing? I gotta go.
You guys have seen me do this. I'm like,
all right, see you.
I'm like rubbing my arms in here.
I'll be around.
I'm the idiot that's wearing short sleeves when it's freezing in this office right now.
It's 20 degrees outside.
It's not just them. It is a little bit chilly in here. Let's be real about that for a quick little second. The market is still falling. I'm out of my last position. The last thing we had was CCL. So there it is. I got out. I still think, this flat bottom break, when a stock like this does this, I'm just thinking short till it's not. So you're underneath 15. I'm not saying it gets all the way to the 200 period moving average, but let's give it a chance, right? So I'm going to take it almost every single day that it sets up underneath that number. ARM is going up. Yeah, these IPOs are defending these IPO prices. We just saw on Instacart that it held 30, and now you're going to close above 51 again. So there's still, you have not had a close underwater on ARM yet, have you? They've managed to close it, so everyone is still good if they took the IPO issue price. That's not going to last, by the way. Let me think of it. I'm going to think of something ridiculous that I have to do if I come back a month later and ARM is above 51, because I just don't see any way. We get to Halloween, there's no way ARM is above $51. This is going to be under the IPO price. Maybe you guys can think of something, because I feel pretty good about that. SoFi hangs on to the bid, Steve G. You're right about that. SoFi with 1 minute to go It holds on to that support. You're like, why is this bouncing off that price level? When in doubt, zoom out, people. We got a lot of fun sayings around here, but traders come up with these fun sayings because it matters. If you're wondering why a level is holding, go to the higher time frame and then see a triple bottom, or I don't know, quadruple bottom, whatever the ass you want to call it, whatever the heck you want to call it. 790 is holding. Good scalp trade here at the end of the day. If you don't like 10 cents, well, that's a bit of a day trader's move. You can risk 2 cents to make 10. The R&R is good. It's no different from risking $2 to make $10. Exactly the same thing. Daryl, you're out of the NVIDIA short. Good, because there's 30 seconds left. We have to be out of everything at the end of the day. Let me just double check. No stop orders, no orders out to the market. Don't want to get caught in anything. It's been a wild day, but tomorrow we get Free Fall Friday. Options expiration means there can be volatility. For now, Adair is making her way up to the bell, as she has, oh my goodness, the countdown's already on. Not to rush you or anything, but you have less than 10 seconds. There we go. In just 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. In the North Carolina Blue Jacket, I'm a Big Ten fan. All day, every day. I was at the Final Four when Michigan State played Tyler Hansbrough and North Carolina. I don't like the Tar Heels because I happen to like Michigan State. And if you're Big Ten, you're Big Ten all the way, and you don't like the ACC. It's that simple. I don't like the SEC either because I'm Big Ten. It's been a crazy day. It's been a fun day. More wild action to come in the after show. I want to give a big shout out, as we always do, Fabian and Ramin on the 1s and 2s, handling business on the midday. We had Sharif and Obi doing their thing. Sharif will be off tomorrow, so Obi's going to be doing a lot of work, and it should be a lot of fun, as we're going to have Obi, and I think we're going to get Yannick as well. So look forward to that. Don't have to say anything else, because you know who I am and you know where you are going, and that is absolutely nowhere but a few feet over to the desk. Sean's got the after show, and I'm pretty sure everyone is excited for the debut of Kat as she makes her way up, or she's putting away her lunch, and then she's going to make her way up, makes her debut on the Market Recap Show. So without further ado, let's get on over to the desk. Market Recap on a wild day. Special guest Kat joining Sean.
All right, welcome everybody. Wow, what a wild ride there into the close. Kind of upset that I came over here because we closed out our Amazon position.